Hello.
Hello, YouTube.
All right, so if we go over here,
Testing run here.
but then how do we have this page up with just the chat? Like, if we want to see this without having the
You have to,
stream,
monitor multiple chat rooms.
can I just close this? I don't know. It's too much. Like, what is this? Like, what is this page?
Well, can people just chat with each other in there?
I guess. I don't know what this is. Like, this is the YouTube stream, but there's nothing on here. Oh, wait, now it starts. There's like a huge delay.
Hello, YouTube.
Whoa, there's like a huge delay on the
Yeah.
YouTube. I don't like that. Well, whatever. I'm just going to close this, and we're just doing the hangout.
But
like normal.
Other people can be in there and do it, but we just won't be paying attention to what they're saying live.
I don't understand why any of this. Maybe I shouldn't tweet that link.
Just do this one. I think maybe that's what everyone was having an issue with last
Because I tweet out twice. See, like it does this, and then people go here, and then that's this weird page.
It's all delayed.
It's all delayed, and it has a chat that we can't see. There's like a huge delay. that was like a minute ago. I don't like that. Well, whatever. This is like a minute delay.
So don't do that one then.
Don't come here. Go to a hangout. I don't understand why any of this. Maybe I shouldn't tweet that link. So if I delete this tweet,
and then just do it directly to the actual.
See, like it does this. And then I'll just post this.
Yeah.
And then that's this weird page. We can. It's all delayed. It's like
Spaceballs. It is. Wait, when is then now?
And then we can rewind.
Just now. You just missed it.
Like, what is this? Like, what is this? We just rewound.
People just chat with each other.
Now we're going to go over here.
Run here.
It's really dumb.
It's pretty good.
I need to resize this because it's just Twitter. Today at work, because this is my picture that pops up at work, because I just thought it was funny. Someone's like, was that at a Day of the Dead celebration? And I had to be like, actually, is a professional wrestler named Papa Shango. And they're like, okay. Just the look on their face when I told them that. I'm like, he was a wrestler when I was a kid. And they're like, oh, so you this is they're like, oh, so you just like
into wrestling?
So you see, I'm like, yeah, no, this was I that I had to be like, I don't know how to like talk to normal. I don't know if that doesn't make sense. Dumb. Do you want a soda or anything?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Good.
So
we getting mail since Monday?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I got it in there. That's
cool.
Let's mute everybody beforehand. So like Mario comes on, just like, duh.
It's funny because it's certain people. It seems like it always.
It's because when you come in from the app, you can't. It doesn't mute you. Because again, Google, like I don't know. I'm still worried that they're just gonna
shut it down.
This is gonna like one of these days we're just gonna come here and it's gonna be like you can't do this anymore, and then we'll have to do that weird YouTube thing.
Or what was that?
What? The rabbit thing?
Yeah, remember?
No, that was for Netflix.
Oh, that's right.
No, YouTube has a built-in thing, but you have to use a third-party app, which is like this open source thing, and you have to configure it, and then you got to use that page that we were on, and like I was just trying to make like a little title thing so like people go to our website, and I don't know. It's weird when like this is all I do, and then I still get really confused at certain things. I just don't understand why they're always changing stuff. Like I feel like they just do it to like so they keep their jobs.
Yeah,
like they gotta like we're just gonna mix it all up.
Because rarely does it feel like it's actually.
What happens if I share my screen right now? Will it like create this crazy? I want to see.
It's gonna create a
share your screen. Choose what. Oh, it won't even. Doesn't. There's nothing. It won't let me do that. It's like what are you trying to do here?
But they have that option there.
Why is there? I still want Google Docs.
Do they take off the sound effects thing?
I don't know. What else do we got in here? Hangout toolbox. Oh, this was all that like meme face. We don't want that. Sporkle. You could do that. That's fun.
But why no?
Watch YouTube videos. Google effects. Why?
Uber conference?
Get a free phone number. It's like to call. Conference call. But if you're going to be calling, why don't you just join the Hangout?
I don't know.
I guess you can have...
If you don't have a camera or something, or microphone?
Or a microphone, I guess. I don't know, for like old people.
Yeah.
Call this number.
Well, I guess you can kind of do it more like a radio show-ish.
Symphonical. Just make it fun to get things done together. Warlight, the strategy game.
Huh.
A story before bed. Read children's books in real time to your loved ones. Soundation. Create music with your friends. Compose music scores.
How is the story before bed like different than just reading a book on the chat?
Because it's like interactive. Maybe it like
is Warlight like Risk? Because we need to just do a whole entire like.
I don't know. Do you want to mess with it now?
Oh my gosh, maybe not. But that looks like that's Risk.
You compete with your friends.
Do like a Risk podcast.
Let's not see what this does. Let's try this. Warlight.
Oh my gosh, it is.
Welcome to Warlight. Oh, there's a tutorial. Oh, everybody has to. So you all join the Hangout.
Okay,
and then you start this thing. Here, let's look at this.
Oh my gosh, it's totally like Risk.
It is. It says play Risk online.
Oh my gosh.
So we could just be playing Risk.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we play Risk together.
I want to do it. I love Risk so much. Did I tell you I played Risk with the kids?
You got your kids to play Risk?
Yeah, dude. No, we lasted about an hour, and then they got tired of it. Maybe like 45 minutes even. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude. It's Risk. Oh, it failed to display an advertisement because I have ad block on. I just conquered Ukraine.
Oh, dude.
The 3 next year Vegas is a bonus. Those are 6 armies. Click it to highlight the bonus. Draw all of your bonus. Okay.
Only 3 for Europe? Usually Europe is 5.
Well, anyways, that's that.
That's amazing.
Phil's gonna be spending all day playing.
I can't know about things like this.
I think you could just play it on their website. You don't even need Hangouts.
Well, it was fun playing with the kids, but again, they had limited attention span. I played the one on DS. Was it DS or was it Game Boy Advance?
I remember playing the computer one like forever.
Oh yeah.
And then did you ever play Rise of Nations? Was like a real-time strategy game, but the single player mode was like Risk. Like once you won the if you the game part where you're like playing real-time strategy, and then you could there was this whole Risk Overlord mode, and was I was obsessed with it because cool. you got more pieces by winning the actual Rise of Nations battles, and that helped you in the overall. That's how you beat the game, was through the Risk part. It was nuts.
They had I think it was just on computer. I don't remember what. It was in 2006 that I was playing it a bunch. But it was my favorite version on computer because it had. You could customize the rules.
Yeah.
And then you could have different maps. So you had the world map, and then you could just have South America, and it was broken up into countries and regions and stuff. And oh my gosh.
I remember getting way into Lord of the Rings Risk. because it was like a whole nother game. Yeah. There was like moving the ring around. There was like a card game element to it. It was like a whole other level. Plus, it was like classic Risk. Like it was. I played that with Daddy for like hours.
My dad actually sold his copy of Lord of the Rings Risk at our yard sale in Big Bear. It was one of the few things that he sold. But he's like, I'm never gonna have time to play it.
It does take.
He's had it there forever, and we've never gotten around to doing it.
Oh, dude!
And it's just the guys that want to play it. Like my mom and Janelle have no interest in it, so if we actually get a chance to play Risk, we'll just play Risk. Actually, Matthew was playing Risk like the other night. He drove up to Big Bear to play Risk with some guys.
This is why it screws up the link, because it won't let me select that equal sign. Oh, there it goes. And because there's an equal sign in it, it doesn't automatically make it a link like it normally does, because it doesn't know that it's a real URL.
Why does it end with an equals? Like, what is that?
Because that's Google, their weird syntax, so that they don't reproduce like every single Hangout makes a unique link. So you got to have like crazy character strings,
right?
Because you can't, like, this is unique to every time somebody creates a Hangout, it creates a totally,
so millions upon millions.
Yeah, of them. Like, so it gets a little nuts. It's like IPv6, which I still don't think the world is ready for that, but they better be soon. You know what IP addresses are going to look like? Probably by next year.
What?
I would maybe 2 years, because you know the whole thing where like we're running out of IP, we're out of IP addresses, right. So we're in the process of switching the entire world over to IPv6. Show you what an IPv6 address looks like. You're gonna freak out. That's what it looks like. So everybody's gonna have addresses that look like this, because look at how many extra strings and everything, right. and it like, but yeah. So that's what it's gonna look like. So, yeah, everybody's gonna, like, people are gonna freak out.
It's a lot of numbers.
You're not gonna be able to deal with that. It's letters and numbers.
Yeah.
And there's like codes. Like I had to actually memorize some of them, like the different naming schemas for like my networking class. But even I was like, I don't know how we're supposed to remember any of this. But yeah, so that's what we're switching over to, and everywhere. Like Windows 10 is IPv6 native. Like if you do, like right now, like watch because you can do it on in other operating systems, but it's not like enabled because nobody uses it. But we're getting, so right now, if I do this, it gives my IP address in IPv6. There it is. Like if I go to whatismyip.com, at least it did this the other day. That is my IP address.
Well, that's because you're on whatismyip.com.
You're missing words there.
Whatismyip.
Whatismyip?
Yeah, it's whatismyip.com.
Okay. I guess we put it that way. Yeah. It thinks I'm in Virginia. The Time Warner Cable.
Oh, is it? That's weird.
Yeah, but some places it'll tell me, like, you're in Ukaipa. This site isn't very good. It can't figure out. Like, I've been on ones where it's like, you're in Ukaipa, California.
We know where you are.
Kind of weird.
We know where you live.
Of course they do. Ugh. That reminds me of like I think it was radio, but no, it was a Popsicles where they're like, here's your address. I'm like, and they just emailed me that. That's all it, like, here's where you live. And I'm like, it's a threat? Like, or is this just being weird on the internet?
Maybe
and they're like, well, I just thought you might want to know that I found this.
I know where you are.
And I'm like, still kind of sounds like a threat. And I'm like, of course I know that I can figure out, but I don't want, like, nobody wants to just have some random stranger be like, here's your address.
We're moving.
Because, like, I don't, and then I thought about, like, what would that be like if someone just showed up? Because, like, what are they going to do?
Well, I mean, can murder you.
Why would, Why would somebody murder me?
I don't know. I mean, they're crazy.
That doesn't happen. And if it does, it's like
it's more likely just someone just goofing around.
But that's
on the
like
internet.
Weird though. Like why
weird.
does who thinks that's like I think I did be like, what was your goal? Like, because it was like one time somebody emailed me and it was like, I really would like to hang out with you, and I'm like, I don't think that's ever gonna happen because like that's weird. Like, but then is it weird? Like, but like somebody, a complete stranger saying let's hang out.
Yeah, but you have to realize like people that have listened to you talk for thousands of hours, they think they know you better than.
Yeah, I know. And is that what it is? Was because like I was just thinking about this the other day. Actually, I was just thinking about it now. I was reading, if you go on Instagram, right, or like Facebook,
right?
So like things that celebrities like, or even mildly well-known internet personalities post, there is the weirdest crap in the comments, like weirdest crap. Like, oh, I love you. Like, not even just like I love you, but like I think we're best friends. Like, I'd love to hang out with you. Or just like, but I think having like knowing people and like it's that sense of familiarity, that's where people get immediately freaked out.
Yeah.
When it's like, oh, I'm your buddy, oh, we're hanging out. Like you start because people are like asking these people about like their children, like, oh, but like, and I think like in a sense from their from their point of view, they're not doing anything weird because like, again, it's because of that familiarity. But then it's like you're taking liberties, man.
Yeah.
Like,
well, but it also depends on what you put out there. Like I wouldn't be weirded out if someone asked me like, "How is Janelle and Audrey doing?"
If a complete stranger on the internet,
because I talk about them all
what
the
if
time.
like a weird stranger on the internet said, "Oh, give hugs to your children"?
I mean that's a little awkward.
Oh, your kids are so adorable. I just want to squeeze them.
People do that all the time.
This is so. That's
do
weird.
That in public.
That's freaking weird.
Man, let me tell you, like having a baby walking around, you know this, like. People just felt like compelled to come up and touch our children.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you can't do that.
I don't understand.
Like, what makes you think? Because I can't imagine me going up to someone's kid and like touching it or pinching his cheeks or something. But people did that, like a lot. I mean, now that they're older,
this is why I can't have a kid. I feel like if I was on this, like, because I was there one time when that lady was like, "Oh, she needs more blankets," and I'm like,
yeah,
and like she's like pushing around. I'm like, if you touched my kid, I'm pretty sure I would like karate chop you.
Yeah, and they just feel,
like,
especially, I mean, in my experience being like a dad that was around a lot with the kids and without a mom, like they felt like, oh, well, this is just an idiot dad. I'm going to tell this dad how to do it because obviously a dad can't know. And so, like, I mean, I think you were there with me that one time when the lady was like, I would never let my husband out of the house without a baby.
Now it's not a link. Like, what the bloody heck? I made it a link. It's not a link. WordPress is dumb. Is this the same post? Yes. What the bloody heck? Stupid.
Maybe it didn't like get saved or something.
Maybe it's dumb. Yes. See, it says add link, and then I save it. Maybe I should just post this to Twitter and not post this on the page because the page is not doing it correctly. Well, and then people, meaning your brother, are too dumb to think, oh, maybe I should copy and paste this into my browser if it doesn't work.
Yes, but it's a lot more convenient if it is a link.
Now it's a link.
There you go. That's fixed it.
Yeah, but come on. We've all been on the internet since forever. Let's just all stop pretending that we're completely helpless.
But you saw how confusing navigating all this stuff can be.
Whatever. Just figure it out. I know, man. I was talking to this woman on the phone the other day, and like just having her, like, I gave her the exact steps to initiate remote desktops. And like, I'll show you right now, like what you do. You hit this. Well, she was in Windows 7. Windows 8 is different. She was in Windows 7. Windows 8. So Windows 8, it's as simple as you open the start menu and then you type remote desktop connection, and then you click on it. Windows 7, it's even, I think it's, in a way, it's easier, because in Windows 7, pretend I'm on Windows 7, and this is the Windows 7 start menu, not Cortana. It's right there in the start menu. And she still was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Don't send me a new computer. I don't want a new computer. I'm like, but you're complaining that your computer is crashing all the time. Like, you'd rather have that than have a new computer? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, come on. Stop it. Stop. It's just like I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, just the people.
But if nobody ever needed help, then you wouldn't have a job, right?
Then I'd be doing something else, and I'd figure it out. No, because I don't even help people right now. I set up their systems. People always need that. This guy today, you think I like save the world? He immediately is like, I want to shake your hand. And I was like, okay. Because he had like this ancient computer. It was so old. It was this computer that Dell doesn't even make anymore. And it was so old that like the asset tag had like worn off. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it, because like I can't return it. Because there's no, like, I'm like, I don't know what number of this. I just guess. Because I'm like, how do we find this out? They're like, we don't. So I'm like, what are we going to do with this? It's like, probably throw it away. I'm like, that's kind of sad.
Do something with it.
But it's so old. Like, it barely like starts up. But it's like, it was one of those, like, at the time it was probably like super top of the line. Like, probably it was, at some point this was like a $3,000 laptop, because it's like one of those super like indestructible metal ones,
right?
Like, because it was for like, I think this guy like took it out like doing the actual mapping, and you're like out in the desert or whatever, because it seriously looks like, you know, like the kind that like a geologist would have, like the lady in Tremors or something. Like, because it's like a tough book,
right?
And at some point somebody paid like thousands of dollars for this thing, and now it's worthless. That's what's weird about it. Maybe that's what freaks people out. It's like, this was once a $3,000 piece, the finest computer that money could buy, and now like I'm about to throw it in the trash. Well, the trash.
Of course. But that's how it
is. Like,
I mean,
we just, like, is that where, maybe that's why, like, as a society, we're like, we've hit this point where just like everything, we just, because like people didn't throw stuff, like people didn't have things to throw away like 150 years ago, and now we're at this point, we're throwing everything away. We're throwing food away. We're throwing old furniture. Like, the idea of like, we're just like, it's such a, I mean, I guess we're consumers. We consume and we dispose of it.
Yeah.
But it's weird how much, like, in the last, like as far as like the greater of human history, all things, like, for the longest time, things were what, and then I guess like that's the Industrial Revolution.
And it was the industry and it was a revolution.
Because like at some point we just like made all this disposable crap, and it breaks, and then we throw it away.
Phones and the like life cycle of a phone now,
it's like nothing.
Like phones,
I've gone through like, in the last 10 years, I've gone through like 15 phones. That's stupid.
And these are phones that do things that 20 years ago was science fiction.
Yeah,
still.
And especially given the fact that like up until like 2005, I was adamantly like, I don't want a phone. I hate phones.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want one. I had like a Virgin Mobile phone when I was like my last 2 years of college, because I had to have something, because they took out the payphone in our dorm room.
Yeah.
And so like it was like the cheapest one, and I think I downloaded, but it was like the old school like ring, and I remember the ringtone was Inagata Davida because it was the only cool one they had, and I could play Snake on it.
Yep.
And like that's about it. And then like, and I'm like, this is all I need. And since then, like, seriously, like at least 10 phones.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, that first phone I had, the giant brick, that was less than 20 years ago that we were at that point. You know, I mean, when I started at Biola, they still had analog editing systems. Now you can make a movie on your phone, and we throw those things away every couple months.
Yeah. Also, crazy. The fact that like this thing has more than the Dell. This is more powerful than the Dell laptop I had that I had like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
This is powerful. This is more powerful than this is probably almost as powerful as like this computer, and it's like this big, and it does everything. And the amount of storage and I use it, and I use it to play Pokemon Shuffle and look at photos of babies and people's kids and cats. As soon as I open that, there's a picture of Jasmine and her kid. It's also, and then I don't know, just think about the past time, like that is Jasmine that talked during all the movies and
that we haven't seen in like years.
And now she has like children and she's a roller derby.
Right. And you know all that stuff.
Because I haven't talked to Jasmine in like 10 years at least. But I know all kinds of things about her life. That's weird. That's crazy.
My mom did today's my mom's birthday.
Yeah.
And she says I make fun of her all the time, and I don't on the show, but this is one kind of funny thing that she did today. And
look at how far Derek's gotten his Falcon put together.
So this morning, like her friend it was my best friend when I was in preschool. Mm-hmm. His mom and my mom were like best friends, like, you know, back when I was in preschool. So like 30 years ago, right? Or however many years. And, you know, they kind of fell out of touch. I mean, the last time I saw my friend from preschool was probably like 3rd or 4th grade. So it's been that long. And his mom, I didn't know his mom.
Pooper, was it?
No. This is like way before that even.
Okay.
So she called up my mom, and they happened to be in Big Bear, and she wound up going out to breakfast with my mom. So I called my mom to tell her happy birthday this morning. She's like, oh, thanks. And she's like, guess who I'm out with right now? And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, here, why don't you say hi to her? And she hands her the phone. I'm like, I don't know this person. Like, I mean, I was friends with her kid when I was 5. What am I going to say to her? She's like, hey, it's so nice to talk to you. And I'm like, yeah, you too. And she's like, oh, we're having some great pancakes here. And I'm like, that sounds good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat them all. And I'm like, well, you wouldn't be the first. And she's like, well, I'm going to just tell her son's name is Tristan, my friend. I'm going to tell Tristan all about you. He's going to be so excited to hear about you. And I'm like,
no, he's not.
Great. Yeah, cool. He lives in New York now. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, let him know. That sounds great. Well, it's just so good to talk to you. I'm heading back to your mom now. And it was like the most awkward conversation ever.
Well, people don't like talking on the phone now, which I think is weird.
Right, but it wasn't because of that. It's because I don't know this person.
But that too.
You know her as well as I do. Like, literally.
Well, that's where the things would, like, at some point I had to, like, make a cutoff on Facebook, because then I'm like, these are just random people. This is why this is where people get so upset that they have all these friends that are like, oh, why do I have all these friends that are like so like have like these crazy political? I'm like, because a lot of your friends are not friends. Right. They're just random people that you may have known like at some point in your life.
Someone that knows them.
And like so like of course it's like the average person in your Facebook wall is probably like maybe like 20 people that you actually talk to on a regular basis. Oh, yeah. And then it's like all these other freaking people that like as I just saw, like the first person I thought with Jasmine. I have not talked to Jasmine I mean, I'm sure if I talked to Jasmine, like she's pretty cool. Yeah. But, like we'd have stuff that it's not as, but like I have people that I have not, like my childhood friend. I don't know what's up with him. He could be a freaking like. He could be all kinds of things. One of my childhood friends, like I'm talking like first group of friends when I was like in kindergarten. I'm friends with like a few of them.
Right.
So. One of them, she's married. She lives in like the Midwest somewhere. She's totally cool. She's she's super like, as soon as we started like talking it on Facebook, she's like asking me about all kinds of stuff. Like she's like super involved. Right. Like, okay, like I guess we're like active Facebook friends. Like I remember she friended my mom just for me, and then she talked to my mom, and like, okay, like this is cool. Like I guess pretty cool. And then like another one, like he friended me, and then like I sent him a message, and he never messaged me back. So I'm like, why'd you even friend me? Like I sent you a message because he works at Pandora, and he was in a band. He was like an actual touring musician for years. But like I sent him a Facebook message, nothing. And I'm like, why? What am I just like something you collect like to look at and like, oh, that's nice. I mean, I remember going on a MySpace rant, all the MySpaces. I'm like, MySpace is where you go where it's all these friends from your past that you can't actually talk to. You just look at them and it's weird. It's freaking weird. And now like Facebook is even more like that because like now like he's posting pictures of like all these kids and I'm like, but you don't actually want to talk to me, but I'm looking at pictures of you and your kids and you're like going back on tour with your band and I would love to talk to you about that. But then I'm like, because we were friends when we were 5, from ages 5 through 7. Like the fact that we would even like, what are the odds of even having anything in common now? Like I have not seen that dude since like 1988.
Yeah.
Like,
well, this kid,
but like that kind of, but then it bums me out because I'm like, I want to talk to this dude. I want to know what his life's like. I want to know what's going on with him, and I can kind of tell from like Facebook,
right?
Like, but then I'm like, I want to have a real conversation. Like, what happened after? Like, what was like? Here's what this is like. This is true. Like, I still want to know. I'm like, did any like? Because so I had this. So like, I started school with this like. Even some of the people in that class, so my kindergarten class, these were kids from the neighborhood I grew up in. And we're not even doing the show yet. I guess this is like a huge pre-show.
This is all a good bonus.
But so like the kids I grew up with, like we all lived in the same neighborhood. I went to preschool with some of these kids. Like my friend Brittany, who the one that's actually communicative, our parents met in Lamaze class. So like we were friends before we were born, basically. And we all like hung out. And then my parents pulled me out of school midway through 2nd grade, moved away, and I remember kind of dancing around this because then I saw him again at 6th grade camp. Our classes just happened to be in the same 6th grade camp, so like a bunch of the kids were there, and most of them didn't talk to me, but like Brittany did, and like a couple other ones. And I remember talking to him a little bit, but like I want to know what happened after I was gone. Like, how long before people stopped? Like, did people talk about me for? Because like we were all like. Because like I remember, this sounds dumb, but like up until that move, and my mom flipped out because I wrote about this.
I remember you telling me about this.
So I wrote about this to like great length because if there ever is a point in my life where like things were awesome, things went to hell, that's the point where it all.
That's your Mr. Baseball moment.
Yes, like where it all went bad was when we moved and I went to a new school and then I was a new kid and then I got depressed and then I got fat because that next summer I got fat and then not only was I the new kid, then I was a fat new kid because 3rd grade started and that was it. I was done. I didn't have a chance. And so like, because like, you know, like I always talk about this and like people react in different ways, but like I sometimes think about how different my life would have been. And like, I flat out told my mom, because she's like, you can't blame me. And I'm like, well, I didn't have a decision in it. So like, she's like, well, we were just looking out for what's best for you. I'm like, I get that. But like, you also have to realize like, that is the most outside of like a parent dying. That's the most traumatizing thing that can happen to a kid at that age. And that happened. And then like, and it happened to me. And like, and my brother he was only at that school for 1 semester, like 1st semester at kindergarten. So like he didn't experience any of that.
Right.
Like maybe just he's like, I don't remember anybody, but like I remember all those kids. I remember their names. I remember my 2 best friends were Bernie and Aaron, and Brittany was like my 3rd best friend. And like I remember all of those kids. And I had friends. I was a cool kid. When I invited to the class and I know even at a young age, like that's probably like the whole class. But like I invited the whole class to my birthday party, and the whole class came, and like we were all friends. And I don't know, maybe things would have gone bad at some point. I still think it would have been drastically different, like because I never would have been the new kid.
Right.
And I don't know what would have happened. And sometimes I think about that, and like it kind of is like, and like I don't know, like, and then like I want to talk to him. I want to talk to Aaron, like. Because I think I've told you about him. He was the only child. He was my friend. He was an only child. He had a freaking loft bed. We used to sit in the bottom of his loft and play like all kinds of, because he had like a crazy imagination. His dad was a musician. His mom was a ballet teacher. Like they were both artists. He came from like hippie artists, and I think about like, man, like what would if Aaron had been like my best friend, like what would it like, because he ended up being in a band and he works for Pandora, and I'm like, what if like I had stayed that path? Like what kind of person, like I know I would probably be would I be a completely different person, or like what would have happened? And like, because we used to spend, I remember he had like this cool loft, because again he was their only kid, like so we used to play he had a record player, and I remember he had a record player just like the one at school, and that's why I thought of, and like I'm like, oh, you can listen to records. Like I mean, we had a record player in my house, but my dad wouldn't let me touch it. He had his own record player underneath his bed, like in his cool little loft cave bed, and like we used to like do all kinds of art projects and like put on little plays because his mom she did like her ballet classes. She had a dance studio in the house. So when his mom wasn't like doing her classes, we would play in the studio and we would turn it into like whatever we were playing. Like it would be our Ghostbusters headquarters or whatever. Like because we used to make our own versions of the Haunted Mansion, like just all kinds of dumb stuff. And then like that all got taken away from me. And again, I had to emphasize to my mom, like, I do not hold it against you, because if I were, like we were living in like a tiny little condo because you guys were waiting for your dream house and then you couldn't wait anymore. So then you bought a house and like far away. And like we were gonna move somewhere, that was gonna happen.
Right.
And like, but like, I don't know. And then I think about those people and the fact that they're my friends on Facebook, but they're not really it's weird. It's weird and it's not real. And that kind of bums me out. Because like all these people, they're like, I would love to have like real conversations with some of these people. I'd love to have real conversations with some of the people that post horrific things on Facebook, because I just want to know, like, what's your deal? Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, would you say these things about this to my face? Because like, go ahead and do it and let's see what happens. And like,
a lot of people would, and some people would.
But I want to know if they would. Are you the kind of person that would say that stuff about, whatever?
So what would you rather, if they would, or if they would only say it with the, semi-anonymity of the internet?
If they're going to say it with their anonymity of the internet, I want them to say it to my face, and I want to see if they can. And if they can't, then they should just shut up. And if they want to say that stuff to my face, then that's fine, and then we can go about it. I mean, I don't know. Some of the things that people like, I don't know, just this guy that I went to Central with, like, and like I had blocked him long ago, but Brian, he sometimes tells me when some people say things, right. and he's like, yeah, this guy said, this guy just compared he just basically compared homosexuality to cancer.
Oh my gosh. And
this was a dude, like, he lived right next door to me. I spent like my sophomore year at Central, I spent a whole lot of time in his room with him and his roommate, hanging out, playing games, and I'm like, I don't know. And then like somewhere after college, he went nuts. Like,
so you have other friends that tell you what people say, like horrible things?
Oh yeah.
Because I thought I was the only one that did that.
I think that's what everybody does.
Hey, Brendan, guess what this guy said.
Well, then you have that situation where, and I still am, and then like, yeah, because then you find out things about, because that's the other thing about Facebook that's like unfortunate, is like you find out things about people.
Yeah.
Like, this is because again, when they're behind their keyboard, sometimes I don't know if that's the real person or if something comes out of people
that they're willing to. I mean, I would never post something that I wouldn't say in front of a crowd or to someone in their face.
Do.
And 90% of the stuff I post is just stupid junk anyway.
And I feel, and that's like, because I look at my Facebook wall and I'm like, am I doing this wrong? Because like, and then I'm like, no, you know what? I'm doing this right, because I'm not pissing everybody off. I'm not being a jerk.
If someone's mad at me for posting a thing about tomatoes today, then they have serious issues.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna argue with somebody on Facebook, I want it to be about like things that I actually.
I'll argue about Nintendo and video games.
Yeah.
That's about as close as I get to being controversial.
In what world, the fact that we've become like, we're like, this is discourse now, and like, we're all speaking our minds. No, it just leads to a lot of blowhards blowing smoke and making everybody mad.
Most people that are posting that stuff are just reposting something
and alienating everybody and alienating your friends and making everybody feel weird. Because I'm in this situation where like people you respect or you did respect start posting all this crazy stuff. You're like, oh, this guy is a bad person.
Yeah.
Like, if you actually believe this stuff, you are a bad person. And now I'm like, but then I'm like, is that so many people are bad people? And then I start feeling like, is this how the, like, and then it just makes me mad and like angry about the world. It was there. Oh gosh, I was just watching Fargo, and like Colin Hanks, he's this great character, and like him and the lady police officer are talking, and he's like, and he just kind of goes, he's like isn't one of the things in life is you at least got to try to make it better. You got to try to make people happier, try and improve things, try and be like and he's like basically saying like shouldn't we be doing that? And then the lady police officer says, well, if that's the way you feel about life and try and live your life, it must be really difficult. And he's like, you have no idea. And I'm like, that's like exactly how I feel about it. Because then it's like, and then I'm like, is that really, like, is that true? Like, is that like why is that, like, why do we have to struggle to be good?
I don't know. It's an age-old question. Wiser men than us have debated it.
And then, like, you know, because then, like, people attribute that to, like, whatever you want to call it, depravity, Satan, humanism, and all those things.
It with his buttholes, if you ask me.
But, like, why? Why are we such dicks?
I don't know.
Is that just because we're in the end we're just animals trying to every man for himself, so just trying to survive? And if it came down to it, I would rip your throat out and in order to survive. Like,
but I think we get an unfair picture of humanity on the internet because.
But it's not even on the internet. It's just.
But I think that in my experience, more people would do a kind thing in the right situation.
Yeah, and I think that's been the case, but I guess it's
not
because,
everybody.
And I think that's like if you look in extreme situations, like a lot of people pointed like during the Boston bombings, like humanity came through, like all kinds of stuff was happening.
Some of those people that were running to help would write something really mean on the internet too. But
then also like, but then I guess it's because it's just our natural human behavior is to focus on the bad things.
Right.
And like, because it is true though. I mean, like, people can say nice things about me all day, but I'll remember the one bad thing. Right. And then like good things can happen all the time. And then all I can think about is that dude with 7 kids that got mowed down by a car that didn't even stop right down the street from here. That happened right down the street from here. Dude had 7 kids, got hit by a car walking. I walked that road. And like that could have happened to me. Yeah. And that's 7 kids that are now going to live without a dad, and they're probably not going to catch that guy. Yeah. That is messed up. They haven't
by now.
That is messed up.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Cancer's messed up. All that stuff's messed up, man. And then I got to deal with jerks on the internet on top of all that. And it's just like, I don't know, it just bogs down on you. Cause like I don't want to be negative. I don't want to crap on everything, but it's so tempting just to go with that. But but then you're just putting out more crap and you're filling up the world with more crap. It's like the mood slime, man. It's like Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just filling it up with more
that negative energy.
Embodied. And then Vigo the Carpathian is gonna rise again and we're all screwed. Yeah.
That's why you should post a funny, stupid video every day.
There was a really good one today, but I couldn't at work. It was going around.
What was it?
Maybe you've seen it. It's like so you know how they do those weird Japanese? Have you ever seen those weird Japanese animations where it's like they'll take like a current event or something and then they do like these weird computer animations? I think this is like one of those. Huh. It's like 2 cartoons talking to each other and the subtitles say one thing, but all they're saying is like haba da da. So we've been doing that like for the last 3 days at work. Haba da. And I can't here. I'm gonna try and find. Great. You gotta watch it. But like, and then I thought it was just us. And then yesterday I was at Stater Brothers and someone had that as their ringtone. I kid you not. It was the same video. Haba da video. I don't even know if that's right.
You that?
I don't think so.
I would no.
I don't know.
That's some kid playing Minecraft. I don't think that was it.
No, I don't think any of this. I don't know how you find that. Habada abada. That's like seriously, it was like a bird and a thing, and then it had like actual subtitles.
What was it about? Like, what are they?
I don't know. It was just nonsense. Apatapata,
I
apapatata,
don't think you're gonna find it from
apatata.
that.
I gotta get my coworker to just send me the link, and then I can send it to you.
It makes me think of that German one. With the
The thing that it reminded me of is that I remember one time you were using your video capture card and you captured some like Mexican cartoon.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I love that. Where is that?
And then because
I got it on some like late night
random Mexican channel. And then you would just sit there and play it over and over and over and over again.
I forgot about that.
The guy's going like, "Hoi yeah!" I don't even remember.
No, but it was so good. What was it?
And there was one guy was going like, "Whoop whoop 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 whoop." But they're just making different noises.
I love that.
Like, do you still have it? Well, I guess it would be gone because it was on your old hard drive.
Ago.
Yeah. But I just remember I remember you called me and you're like, come over. You have to see this. I'm like, what? You're like, no, just come over. And then you just played this video and it was the funniest thing.
Because I was just messing around with because it was when I got that.
Yeah, got the TV tuner card.
Right.
And then you figured out that you could actually record whatever was on.
Yeah, so I was just flipping around and I found like late at night this Mexican channel and it was like the best cartoon ever.
It was like a cartoon from like Sábado Gigante or something. It was just like a dumb little
and like stuff like that.
It was just dumb little and then I think you, me, and I think Matthew and David would just do the noises all the time. And now I don't even remember what they were.
Who knows?
Well, it was never like on YouTube. It was just a video that you had recorded.
I had it on my computer.
On your computer. Because I think there was like going yip 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 yip. I think that was one
Something
of them.
Like that. Although now like Tim and Eric things are in my brain and I can't remember which is what. But it was like that except for real.
Yeah,
Andres was here and then he was
scared him off. We're just
like, we're not even.
What are these guys even doing? It's midnight
at the Oasis. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that video until you just told me that.
Did you ever post it anywhere?
I think maybe no, because it was like
I think you maybe uploaded it to MySpace or something at some point.
Who knows if that still exists?
I haven't even got. I wonder what my MySpace page looks like.
MySpace is so useless now.
Can I even go to my MySpace page? Like, what does it even look like?
It's there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What is this? Why are there clouds?
I don't know, because everything.
Where's all the stuff?
They got rid of all the like stream.
There's no posts.
It's not there. No, that's all gone.
No.
And your messages.
My top 8's still there.
Yeah.
Anlin, Popvox, BrendoMan Productions, BrendoMan All Stars, Cold War Kids, and Kevin. What if Kevin's still posting? If anyone's still posting, nope.
Yeah, but there is no like streaming. Like, there's no posting of anything. Like, where there's nothing to post.
It's all music.
It's just music, videos, photos. Like, there is no. It's not. It doesn't work anymore. There's nothing left to do on it.
Man, remember when he was gonna be on? He was gonna direct an episode of Heroes. There's all the Heroes cast. I think he was gonna do. There was gonna be a spin-off.
You gonna watch the new Heroes?
Oh, little Harley. My gosh, that's how old MySpace is.
Yeah.
It's like a current picture of Harley. Because it even says Harley now. Like, she's 16 now.
Yep. No, MySpace is broken. Like, there is no
Malcolm's page.
I wouldn't even know what to do on it.
Yeah, like, what is this? Featured. Discover featured. This is just like lists.
Yeah,
and where are these from?
Articles.
Is that that's what MySpace is now?
I think. I don't know.
And then music.
I have tried
Action Bronson.
Desperately to figure out.
I saw him at a wrestling show.
Because I had to mess around with it a while to get our BrendoMan All Star.
Oh yeah, we were trying to like Tay,
stupid.
Justin Bieber. These are just music. These are just songs. So what is this, like Spotify now?
Well, because they still have like MySpace music. Like, you can get paid from it. Remember how like they started?
Yeah, but we never got
paid.
We sold albums and never got money.
I think in the end, because remember there was like a lawsuit or something. I think we wound up getting like 10 cents after all that was said and done.
We sold like.
I know we did on Ann Lynn, because people were like, "Yeah, I bought the album from MySpace. I'm like, cool."
So like all these songs are just on here and you can play them.
I guess buy song.
Sign in. What?
I I don't know.
How do I play it?
In the style of Ariana, I think
it's not even the real thing. It won't even let me play. This is stupid. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm already done.
That's exactly how I feel about it. That's MySpace.
Like,
now.
Remember old MySpace?
Yeah.
You just had like the tracks and you could share them. You could add them to your wall. You could do a.
And I feel like, I mean,
how many? I found tons. I used
so many bands. So many bands we worked with and released stuff with. That Christmas Volume 2, like half of the bands from there we found through MySpace.
We almost got signed to a Belgian record label because of MySpace. Yeah.
Heldernacht.
Imagine if that had happened.
Oh, dude. We could have at least
we would be like, what if we were like, what if we got signed in Belgium and became like huge stars? What if we moved to Belgium? What if what if you and Janelle moved to Belgium and then like Audrey's first, what if like her primary language would have been like
Belgian.
Dutch or
Belgian? What do they speak Belgian?
I think they speak Dutch,
French,
Swedish.
Gosh, I have no idea. Belgian waffles.
What language do they speak in Belgium?
Maybe
I think it's Dutch.
Speak in Belgium.
I'm pretty sure it's Dutch. German. No, Dutch. I was right.
Dutch. Okay.
And French and German. Dutch. That's the other thing. Your kids will probably be like quadlingual because they all speak like, you know how in like those European countries. Yeah. What if we lived in Brussels and hung out with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
It's divided into two distinctive multilingual regions: Dutch-speaking Flanders to the north and French-speaking Wallonia to the south.
You know how I know it's Dutch? Because remember there was that whole thing in Goldmember where it was like, I'm from Belgium, and then he's like, I really hate the Dutch. Is Michael Caine?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But see, I was thinking of because Hercule Poirot, isn't he Belgian? And he speaks French. Well, he speaks French, but he's from Belgium.
Well, he's probably from the southern part.
I think so.
He's probably from Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Whereas JCVD is from Brussels and he speaks Dutch, but he also speaks German.
Oh, right, because there's German there too. Interesting.
Because he's like quadrilingual. He probably speaks French too.
What if right now? Because
what if we live? What if
people listen to those tracks still? Like, what if
somebody
downloaded and like?
Actually, I think I'd rather live in Antwerp just because I like saying Antwerp.
I want to live in Dusseldorf.
But then we would be like Autobahn. We'd be like, what if from Brussels? Yeah. We thought they'd cut off.
It's not fair. My girlfriend.
What if that was us? Because that was like what, like 2007?
Yeah.
So we would. What if this would have been like our 8 years living in Belgium?
Could have been.
Man, because of MySpace.
All because of MySpace.
Because like I just think about like Glenn and like Truman's, and even Soul Junk, like they got to tour. They toured all over Europe.
Yeah.
They were huge. They still are huge. Like Soul Junk still plays like huge shows like in other countries. And also I'm like, that's why Americans are stupid. The fact that Soul Junk could probably go play in front of thousands of people in Europe, and like and then like
they opened for Danielson, and we were like one of 10 people that saw them.
People don't understand what they have.
Not fair.
Although I do like the fact that we live in a world where people finally got Danielson, because how many years of like getting made fun of? Like we couldn't even play that stuff at Biola. You played that on KBK. That was like a one-way ticket to like calls. I remember the one time I played, I immediately got a phone call.
Well, I remember like my parents.
Like I think I played like Rubberneck or something.
I listened to all kinds of different music, and they're always hardcore and punk and whatever. And my parents are cool. But the one thing is, my dad's like, you can listen to it in your room with the headphones, whatever, but you cannot play Danielson. Like he hated it, especially that first album, because that's like the most like. My heart, the ugly tree. And my dad's like, that's awful. It's like they're killing a bag of cats, and I will not have it in the house.
And then, so was it a kind of vindication for you when they got huge?
Yeah.
Like not even among like the Christian crowd, but among like the indie rock crowd. I mean, most of that was Sufjan, but even like.
Well, no, they hit like they were in Spin magazine before Sufjan was even in the band.
But then, like, I feel like they blew up huge.
Well,
like on the
they
indie
kind of like helped propel each other. But my senior year of high school, I booked Soul Junk and Danielson to come play in Big Bear,
dude.
Which is like, I mean, this is before we met. This is before I went to college, or whatever. And I booked them because I love
that
Danielson.
Would have been like just rock Soul Junk.
So yeah, this was like
they weren't doing the electronic stuff yet. So, that was like 1950.
Yeah. Well, let's see. No, this
52.
would have been 52, I think, about.
So 52. Still.
Yeah, well, anyway, in there. And so I booked them to come up to Big Bear. And I had done a few shows, before that. I mean, a bunch. I did Starflyer Joe Electric, Spivvies, did some hardcore shows, et cetera, et cetera. And so I booked them, and the girl who, she was in college, but she was, running the high school ministry at our church. And so I booked it through her.
Oh, hey, Ginyu's in here. I did his podcast.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, we don't chat, and this is us just... We talk, you listen.
Yeah.
If you want to chat, you could text chat.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be recording our podcast very soon.
Yes. Believe it or not, we have been talking for over an hour and have not actually started recording it. But anyway, long story short, I booked them. The girl who ran it was furious at me afterwards, didn't talk to me for a while. And I guess she was well, because I didn't even get to go to the show because it was my first week of Biola or something like that. I can't remember how it worked.
You booked the show and you didn't even go to the show?
Them, but knowing that I wasn't going to be able to get there because they were on tour. And they contacted me and asked, could they play a date? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. And I did the promotion, I helped do posters and everything.
How many people went?
It was something like 100 people there, which wasn't a huge turnout for Big Bear, but I wasn't there to physically promote it. And they knew I wasn't going to be there. I mean, that was known ahead of time. But she was mad, and I guess she was, I don't know if she was rude to them, but I think she was cold to them, and she didn't talk to me for years, and then finally, my senior year of college, she got in touch with me and was like, I'm sorry I acted that way, I realize now I was very immature, and blah, blah, and totally apologized for it. But yeah, that's how divisive they were back then. People either loved them or hated them. So, anyway, yeah. So I actually booked one Danielson show I didn't get to go to.
Cool. All right, turn off the air conditioner.
All right, let's do this.
Let's just get going. It's already midnight. We gotta get going. Whatever, dude. I wanted to go to bed at a decent hour. I gotta go to the library tomorrow.
Whoa.
I gotta go pick up the next Lemonade book, and I've finally made it to the top of the list for Go Set a Watchman.
Oh, nice.
So we can find out. What if it's terrible? Do you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
I do. You told me about it. Wait. It's the new one from
Harper Lee's second book.
Her
second book ever.
You're going to find out.
I'm going to find out.
All right.
It's got good reviews but I don't know how much of that is just
goodwill from To Kill a Mockingbird.
It's Grown Up Scout. I want to read that book.
So it actually is a sequel?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's Grown Up Scout and she's a lawyer. I don't know anything else.
And her daughter, or no, it would be her son.
Her son.
And meets a crazy girl who lives next door named Baba Ridley.
I was gonna what is something else besides Boo? Ack.
Yeah, gotcha.
And her son's name is Corporal. Or Scout.
That's good. And they hide stuff in the crack in the driveway. All right. Should we record this thing?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Wait, what am I doing?
I don't know.
I just loaded the template for Radio BrendoMan. I don't need to do that. Oh my gosh.
So you said that you did his podcast? What podcast?
It's called L's Supercast.
This is recently?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't even know about this.
I think I mentioned it.
What you mention again?
You should check out El Supercast. I'm mentioning it right now.
There we go. We ready?
I am almost ready.
I'm almost ready.
What was that?
That's my...
Checkity check.
Almost ready.
Are you comfortable? Are you gonna get a crick in your neck?
I think I might twist like this.
What?
Or twist. I don't know, I'm getting old. My neck's weird.
You're weird, period, man.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Check one.
It's a fair cop.
Checkity check. All right, I think we're ready to do this.
Do it.
Oh, he's gonna put it up tomorrow.
Oh, so there you go.
That's
perfect.
Okay.
That recent.
Well, it was a while ago, but I guess he's been saving it.
We'll save it till tonight.
There you go.
Waiting for you to promote it.
Sure.
All right, should we do it?
You
guys ready? We're doing it.
Hold on.
Checking for last minute comms. Short for communications. I could read a bonus. I'll read a bonus Marmaduke while you're getting ready.
No bonus Marmaduke.
Oh,
no. I'm just checking. I thought I got a text, but it didn't. All right. Josh Gray had favorited my tweet. I thought maybe he was going to hop in here, but he didn't.
Oh, that's okay.
Talking about friends, though.
Could be like in YouTube. But don't mess with that. That's okay.
No, it was the Hangout post because we deleted a YouTube post. Remember, because we're not gonna do that. I think there's a way to not do that anymore. Because that's what's confusing. Because that's how your brother ended up in that no man's land with Andrew.
And like 5 minutes after what we were saying.
Yeah. I don't know the whole streaming to YouTube thing. And what's this like? I know Google. This is new.
Yeah.
But the font is weird, man.
I don't know.
They're just messing. They're just always messing with stuff.
They can't just leave perfection alone.
I miss the Google Docs like so bad. Because I hate having to have two things open, and I would try to steal a monitor from work, but that'd be bad.
That'd be bad.
I probably could though,
but probably shouldn't.
Probably shouldn't. Because I'm sure if I just walk out the door,
you have it on your shirt.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Almost counting down. I was like, we don't need to do that. Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creasy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
We just did like an hour and a half long pre-show.
Yeah, if you want like bonus...
Remember when we were like, it's going to be a quick show? We should have just started recording it. That would have been the show, and we'd be done now.
We just talked
Instead, we're just starting.
Well, I mean, we've been talking for 2 hours, but of that,
especially
hour and a half
since
is on YouTube.
You've been here since
I've been here over 2 hours, yeah. So if you want to hear a lot of bonus stuff, that's where you should go. Check out the YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's been what? It's only been like 4 days since we recorded last.
Well, we recorded last. I was still on a super high from the wrestling.
Yeah.
And it was really hot still. Now it's cooled off.
Not too bad, right?
It's supposed to warm up again towards the end of the weekend. But today it was like in the 70s.
It's nice, yeah.
It's nice.
On the drive to school, it was almost chilly. It was like in the high 50s.
I think it rained last night.
Yeah, it was very.
There was some damp.
It was very foggy for much of the morning. So
I'm sure this is really...
That's your Ukaipa weather report.
Ukaipa weather update.
of what just happened.
Although there was a fire. So it was crazy. So yesterday, as soon as I get on the road to drive home from work, it's like stopped heading into Ukaipa.
Right.
And I'm like, so for like 45 minutes, I have no idea what's going on. I'm just like, I guess, I'm like, is this holiday traffic? Like, it's not holiday yet. Like, what is this? There must be a bad accident. But it was going super far back. What turned out was going on was there was a fire, a wildfire on right before the Ukaipa exit. There's like this huge hill, and there's houses up there, and that hill was on fire. Crazy. So they were actually using up 2 of the lanes on the 10 for fire trucks and as a staging area, right. And there were firefighters on ropes rappelling up and down the hill trying to fight the fire. Gosh. And I seriously saw a firefighter fall over, and they had to they picked him up, but they were because it's super steep, and the whole thing's on fire.
That's crazy. And you were just sitting there for 45 minutes.
Well, it took me an hour to get home.
Oh my gosh.
And then I had to go to the store, and then the store was really crowded for some reason. Maybe people were freaking out about the fire. Maybe people getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
Barbecue stuff, I guess. Work email. It's not good. So that was crazy. So it took me an hour to get what normally does 15 minutes. Then I got home, and that's I'm the whole time this is my free time, just going up and smoke.
Literally.
And and that's why I didn't finish Fargo until today. Because I could have gone. That's a whole episode. Just lost. Yeah, just sitting in my freaking car.
Do you at least have a podcast on or something?
I can't listen to podcasts in my car.
You can't?
No. I'd have to burn them to CD. I don't have an MP3 player.
On your phone.
I guess, but
no,
that doesn't
work.
Doesn't sound that good. You know what I used to do until I found out you can like get a ticket for it.
What?
Is I would actually just put my headphones on.
Oh yeah. You're not supposed to do that.
And I totally did that for like 2 years.
Yeah. I think.
Well, because I used to do it in the Neon, because I don't know if you remember this, but at some point somebody had stolen the stereo out of the Neon, so I didn't even have a stereo. So I just had my phone and I had my headphones, and sometimes I would just put one earbud in, and that's the way that I kind of. But then a cop was like, yeah, you could totally, because I had a friend who was a cop, a New York cop, but still he's like, yeah, I would pull you over for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? He's like, I'm like, just one earbud. He's like, you can't do that.
Right. It is frowned upon, definitely.
But yeah, Brian's in the chat.
Hey, what's up, Brian?
So that's what's been going. I mean, nothing exciting's been going on this week. I mean, again, we recorded on Monday. It is not Friday. That's why we got to get back on the Friday swing of things, because So
my biggest excitement is I started driving the truck again this week. Finally cooled off
enough.
There's no air conditioning in there, and it's like a death trap with the kids in there.
Otherwise. My car doesn't have a whole lot of air conditioning.
I know. Yours is like.
I get real hot in there.
So, but that's been cool. Been driving that around. Feels manly again. But I don't know. Who knows how long it's gonna last?
How many miles are you going on?
255,000.
Oh my gosh!
Plus, it's like I don't know exactly.
On the same engine?
Same thing. I've never done anything.
Those Toyotas are kind of built
amazing
to last.
My parents' van, remember, I had that went to 320,000.
Because those are the ones that like people like you see them on the road and they just have like the yo.
Yeah.
Or like some other silly.
And here's the thing.
Yours doesn't have anything.
Not only is it so like. It's lasted this long, but I'm terrible at maintaining cars.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing with this last time when I thought it was broken is because I never put fluid in the entire time I've owned it, because I didn't even know that was a thing you do.
So how much longer do you think it could have lasted if you had been correctly?
I'm terrible at it.
So, like, how burnt out is your clutch?
I don't know.
This is a clutch thing?
Yeah, it was clutch fluid.
Which you've never replaced.
I didn't even know it was a thing that you had to do. So, and it's still driving 255,000 miles later. Here's the other funny thing. I don't know if you ever. I have like a huge keychain.
Yeah.
Have you ever? Like,
you have a Kramer keychain.
Yeah, I have a Kramer keychain, and every time I've taken any car in, the guys always tell me, oh, they see me taking the key off the keychain, and they say, oh, that's terrible for your ignition. You shouldn't do that because it like weighs down on or something. And my car's at 255,000 miles, and I've had it on there like the whole time I've driven it. Every car I've ever driven, and I've never had
an ignition issue. It messes up the ignition?
I guess.
That sounds like things that mechanics say.
I know, because I've never had an issue with that. And if it does after all these years, then I guess that was worth it.
I feel like mechanics are like they're like right up there as far as like BS artists.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, if you find one that you trust, that is valuable. That is just right below a spouse that you trust.
Do you still ever take? Because you had a guy, but
we had a guy out there. Well, yeah, he was out in Orange County. For a while, we were still driving out there, but we found some guys out here that are cool. They passed some tests, like I took the truck in to get an oil change, and he like called me and said, yeah, I couldn't in good conscience do this. The oil's fine. You don't need an oil change. Gave it back to me without charging me. So that's a guy, and maybe that was just like him tricking me with a cheap thing so that later on he'd be, oh, $10,000, buddy, sorry.
I just remember there was these dudes in Wisconsin. They were straight up con artists. And like
I believe it.
Like to the point where like I'm yelling at them, my mom's yelling at them. They're just like, "What are you gonna do?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You are evil." That's so evil. Like, because we were just talking about this with the plumber situation. Like, how do you sleep at night knowingly ripping off people? I guess you're just a horrible person. And that's what you do, and that's how you. But like, I could never make a living off of like taking advantage of people. Like, I mean, you know me. I quit like 30 minutes. I got 2 hours into that telemarketing job because they're like, at least just finish. I'm like, no, I cannot. I refuse to do this anymore. Like, I just had an old woman like cry on the phone. She's like, because like I had somehow convinced her that she needed the like we were selling like new windows.
Right, window treatments or
window
something?
treatments.
I don't know, whatever.
She's like, I really can't afford this, but I know I need one of these. I'm like, no, you don't need. I'm like, I'm gonna hang up the phone right now. and that was the only sale that I would have had. And then like, I don't know. I don't understand humanity. I guess that's what our pre-show.
Yeah,
that's how it started.
We philosophized for a while,
and then somehow we led into Facebook and how weird it is. And then we were actually on MySpace, which if you go to MySpace now, it's like the weird. How is it a thing?
It's like the post-apocalyptic wasteland of the internet.
You can't. Nobody's walls have anything on them.
No.
There's nobody. It's just
nowhere to like really connect.
And then there's like random music that we couldn't figure out how to play.
And then just remnants of Facebook pages from 10 years ago. MySpace pages, sorry.
Like my top 8 is still there, and that's all that's on my page.
And that's the only thing you can access.
In some weird cloud background
that you didn't put on there.
And like I guess our pictures are still there.
Well, yeah, because every once in a while I get an email that says, "Hey, look at your classic pictures," and it shows the pictures I had.
I love that it's like, "Hey, we're still here. Remember this thing that you posted in 2006? Like, come check it out. Yeah. We're still here, you guys."
It says stuff
and
like,
it's
looking good.
And it's like, you sad bastard. Yeah. Like, come on.
Not to mention that, like, think of how many people.
Here's why they're still, because somebody must have lost a fortune thinking like MySpace. Because I remember because News Corp bought it and then they sold it, and who even owns it now? Like I know Timberlake was in it for a little bit. I don't think it's even him anymore.
I don't know. I think like BuzzFeed or something. They're just that's what it looks like.
It's just they're trying to get that return on investment. Like
it's not happening, guys.
So hard. They're trying so hard, and they need to just let it go.
Yeah. But they're trying.
Let that MySpace page
Let it go. Other exciting news this week. The kids tonight actually they told us they wanted to make a creepy house, like a haunted house.
Yeah.
And so, first of all, they decorated the whole house with like these like rubber bugs and other like scary stuff they had. And then the funniest part is their costumes. Audrey had these like giant like wax lips. And then Luke had a fake mustache and vampire teeth, and they're super cute. If you are friends with me on Facebook, you can look at the post I posted of them. But it was just great because they led us through the whole house, and they're like, oh, and there was like a lion on the door, and they're like, oh, there's a lion, and then they had like a Frankenstein doll. But other than that, it was all just like regular stuff that they would just go, oh, here's inside of Luke's shoe, they would put like a bug was in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just great. They took us to the whole house. Super cute. They spent like an hour and a half doing it. So.
Because I remember I made one of those like in my room, and what I did was because there was like Halloween catalogs. You get it like I don't even know where you got those. Like at the mall.
Guess so.
And
Sears maybe.
I just remember there was I think there was like a counter at Sears.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't
and there was like the Halloween catalog, and I remember cutting pictures of that and posting them up, like taping them to different places.
Your
like
haunted house.
Spooky, and just dumb.
1999.
Yeah, and I remember making like taking cotton balls and making them into like, spider webs, and then like what else? I remember I remember we would play Thriller like on repeat and like stuff like that. I remember because it's just funny thinking about how your kids do like some of those funny like dances and other stuff.
Right.
My brother and I totally had a routine for Thriller where we'd like hide behind the couches and then we'd like come up and be like, because like we'd seen the video and we totally did that for our parents. I remember getting our parents like having them sit down
doing the show
and just doing the show.
Oh my gosh, they love doing shows.
And then, and I think about, God bless my parents for, because, what do they do? What are they doing?
Let me tell you, as cute as our kids are, there are sometimes when the shows just keep going on and on, we're like, okay, we got to wrap this up here, guys. Because sometimes they'll just go on for half an hour, 45 minutes. If you don't put a stop to it, and you have to do it gracefully so they know you appreciate it.
So you're just like, all right.
And they're like, we're not done yet. This is only the first part. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh look, ice cream! Let's go have some ice cream. Oh, yeah, it's. You
just gotta come up with the distractions.
You gotta do something because it's so cute, and then it gets really boring. So, but the creepy house, I just thought it was funny they called it that. The creepy house was not boring. It was fun. So, turned out all right. That's about it.
Cool. We got some mail.
Some reader mail.
From Denver.
What's up?
So this is actually really interesting because there's a lot of strange overlapping coincidences that he talks about. So he says, sorry this is so long. I hurriedly typed these out at work while listening to the show. I've done that.
Yeah, glad that we could distract you at work.
This first part you can read on the show or not is up to you. I'm totally going to read this on the show because it's just crazy, all the intertwining stuff.
All right.
It's so crazy, the lives we stumble upon by random may have crossed already in some way. Probably. It's a small world. First, my grandmother came to Missouri with my grandpa at 17 in 1937 from Browerville, Minnesota, 60 miles from Brainerd.
Okay.
Again, I've been to Brainerd a lot of times. My grandma lived up there. I remember having a family reunion at a state park near Brainerd and later going to the Paul Bunyan Land. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this on the show. Paul Bunyan Land in Brainerd, they have a giant Paul Bunyan statue, and it's like an animatronic statue. I'm talking like huge, huge. It's like ginormous, and it's sitting there, and it talks to you. And when you go in, I think your parents or whoever tell them your name because it's like, hi, Brendan, I'm Paul Bunyan.
Totally one of the, like not the very farm guy.
But it's like a giant animatronic, like huge. Huh. Like, I want to show you.
Isn't there a shot of it in Fargo? I feel like there might be.
No, that's another. There's lots of Paul Bunyan statues.
Oh, okay, maybe that's
this is dude. You have to see this. It's kind of creepy.
You know what I mean? At Knott's Berry Farm, how they do that, like, because that used to freak me out.
Look at this.
The parents will tell the guy and like feed him all the information so that you're convinced that he's real.
That's awesome. It's a giant talking.
Like the size of like the Abraham Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah, and it's huge, and he moves his head and he talks to you. Like when I was a kid, it scared the crap out of me because we went when I was like 7 or 8.
That's crazy.
And yeah, and then I kid you. Okay, I want to go back there because they had this crazy haunted house where I think that because I remember some of my memories back then. I don't know if I made them up, but I clearly remember this where it was like a multiple path haunted house, like a walkthrough. There was like secret paths, like you went behind. You could like go behind. There was a secret path that went behind a fireplace, and then that led to a whole other part of the house. There was like you took an elevator at one point. There was all kinds of weird animatronic things. I remember getting lost in there.
Paul Bunyan
yes, I remember getting straight up lost in there, and some dad and his kid helped me find the way out because I remember my brother wouldn't go on it, and my mom sure as heck wouldn't go in there. So like I went in by myself, and then I ended up getting lost. And like that was the kind of I want to know what the heck that was. And they had all kinds of other weird dark rides. It's still there because my mom I went to their website because at first I'm like, there's no way that exists anymore, but it's totally still there. My mom's like, if you come here, we can go. But I guess so. My brother's coming out the weekend of Long Beach Comic Con to visit my mom, and they're going to Duluth.
Okay. That's how you say it?
Yes.
I thought it was Duluth.
Nope, it's Duluth.
Like Dallas, but with a lift.
Duluth. No, it's Duluth.
Huh. Learn something new every time on the show.
But so yeah, that's cool. You're talking about Paul Bunyan Land. The mosquitoes were like hummingbirds. They do have crazy bugs out there. I also remember that night there was this huge storm at my grandma's house to the point where I was terrified because I thought there was like a ghost outside. And also I remember my grandma had plum trees, and my brother and I got in a plum fight, and we ruined our clothing, and my grandma got very upset.
Also, you wasted all those good plums.
Yes, but we totally just started throwing plums at each other. Okay, so she said, I thanked her all her life for leaving that state. I couldn't take the winters they have. Winters in Wisconsin and Missouri are no picnic, but I guess compared to Minnesota, they're not that bad. Her brothers stayed in Minnesota their entire lives. One owned a bar called the Whoopee Inn on Big Lake in Minnesota. Her sister moved to Ukiah, California.
I've been to Ukiah before.
Where's that?
Northern California.
Okay. One of those towns up there?
Yeah.
Second one of your friends you said lived in Adrian. That's right down the highway from us. I spent a lot of time in Adrian. So Danny, who was kind of the tech guru of Radio BrendoMan, BrendoMan.com, Brax Comics, helps run all those websites. And But I used to work out there with Danny at a church, and then I lived there for a whole summer one year. So I'm guessing, I don't know, are you from like Archie or somewhere? Like I could probably maybe try and guess where he's from, because I'm thinking about what's north of Adrian. Because in between Adrian and Kansas City, it's just a bunch of small towns. Because Adrian, well, maybe like what's the big one up there? Jefferson City, Jeff City. I think they call it Jeff City. There's some others. There's like some bigger towns. Then there's like, but not too big. It's all pretty small towns, and then you get up to Kansas City, like the greater Kansas City area.
You guys are like right there.
Yeah, we were right there. I mean, he says it's right down the highway. So, yeah.
That's
Isn't
cool.
Heathcliff the equal to Marmaduke? I still think Heathcliff had more adventures.
I think
Heathcliff
so.
had a gang.
Yeah, I feel like there was more. I mean,
Heathcliff had more comedy.
It was still
cheese.
Yeah, cheese, but I don't know. I always liked it better.
Heathcliff did stuff. Plus, Heathcliff had an interesting cartoon, with a cool song. Heathcliff, you up to no good. Heathcliff, having fun, playing pranks on everyone. Yeah. Marmaduke doesn't play. Marmaduke doesn't play pranks. Heathcliff talks.
Whereas
Marmaduke does not talk.
Yeah.
Heathcliff talks. Even in the comic, he talks.
Right.
Heathcliff was if anything, Heathcliff is a Garfield ripoff.
Right. And early Garfield was really good. Like I loved Garfield for a long time.
Yeah.
It's just that it kept going long beyond when it should have.
And it's still going.
But if you go back to those early Garfield books, they're
Garfield
still great.
books,
I love them. I have a whole collection of the early ones.
Most kids our age at one point had Garfield books.
Back when he looked weird and stuff at the very beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
there you go.
Edges it out there just a bit.
Mad Max Blu-ray was my purchase.
Nice. So, thank you for doing that.
Thank you. We got a little bit of Amazon coming up. I have to help clean out my father-in-law's sheds and childhood home. Apparently, he has an original Erector set from when he was a kid, still in box.
That's cool.
I know those are valuable.
If you're looking to sell that, you could probably get some money out of it, I would guess.
But it's probably that's an awesome toy.
Well, yeah, because those are still good.
Oh yeah.
I didn't tell you about this. So my grandpa was cleaning out Grandpa Vecchio, cleaning out a bunch of stuff from his house, and so just kind of handing them out to grandkids whenever we visit and stuff, just cleaning up stuff. And he gave me a box of a bunch of toys for the kids, including the Legos that my dad and his brothers and sisters played when they were kids.
Oh wow! What are those Legos like?
Well, it's crazy because it still works with it. The design is slightly different, on the bottom. They definitely perfected it. They don't fit quite as tight, but other than that, they basically haven't changed a whole lot since then. You can tell, and it's great because the bottom it says patent pending still, because it was they're that old, But Luke got this. They might be. I don't know. We've been using them though, because Luke got this set from Janelle's sister from her museum that he sent out. She sent out, and it has some basic elements, but in order to build all the rest of the stuff, you have to have a general box of stuff to pull from, and we didn't have enough stuff, so I pulled out these old ones, and we're using that to build the kit that just came out this year.
Nice.
It's incredible. So Lego, but I'm telling you, Erector set, same thing though. Those things are built to last. You can do all kinds of
cool stuff with those.
Yeah.
You can actually make machines and stuff with them. Sandlot. Come on.
No, totally.
You can make a ball catching machine. And all the other different little gadgets that he comes up with. All right. So Steven, just quick in the chat. So when I was little, I couldn't get that Garfield was thinking what he was saying. I was like, why doesn't his mouth move? It's funny. You didn't know what the thought bubble.
Yeah, the little. Although it is weird because I feel like throughout Garfield's history. Did John know what he was saying? Did he not?
I feel like they conversed.
I feel like sometimes, but then other times I feel like he totally didn't know. I don't think there was ever it was ever totally clear.
It's kind of like Stewie.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like when it serves.
I love when they actually make fun because they're because I know there's sometimes I'm still not. I don't know. I've really backpedaled on a lot of my Family Guy just because, especially. Did you ever watch the South Park where they
No.
where they basically give out the Family Guy formula, and it was like the glass breaking at the How I Met Your Mother. I'm like, wow, that is completely accurate. But anyway, so But I remember one of the things where where like even Peter would be like, "What is the deal with this baby?" Like they would even reference it like, is it just us?
Really?
Like,
right.
like what's going on here? Because it is like it's whatever serves the purpose.
Right.
And
If it's a good joke,
that's Garfield.
Yeah. Because like cartoons, I'm pretty sure in the cartoons John can understand them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally.
Right.
No, he full on talked in the cartoons.
Right. But then, does his mouth move in the
Yes.
cartoons? Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
But then, like in the strip, he didn't move his mouth.
No.
And there was definitely times when John couldn't.
But there were times where I think I'm pretty sure there are times where they converse.
Yeah, I think it just kind of depended on how it worked in whatever storyline.
Davis, you gotta do it. We just do it, whatever.
Now I want to come. We gotta look into
whatever.
This
now he's sitting on all that Gmail money. How rich is?
Oh my! Just from that alone.
Because that's crazy. Makes me wish my name was like. Because like
people know that the Gmail that they had to pay Garfield.
Because it was on the website. I think I actually had a Garfield Gmail account.
Yeah, and then when Google wanted to do it, they had to like buy out the name basically.
Yeah, and so he got a lot of Google money.
Yeah.
So on top of all that Garfield money, Jim Davis has Google money.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And if he got any stock out of it, forget about it.
Not to mention all the like sponsorship money from Big Lasagna.
Yeah.
And that stuff pays big, you know.
Well, I mean, I still think of the great like merchandising, like Peanuts probably still wins everything because like they endorse insurance for crying out loud, like they endorse everything. And there is no Garfield theme park, but there's Peanuts. So.
Yeah, but Garfield has had like feature films, although Peanuts has
has plenty of those.
Well, but were they actually in theaters?
No,
or
I don't
features?
think so. But still.
Just saying, they both done, pretty well.
I think the Peanuts film's gonna do a bit better than the Garfield movies.
It looks really good.
So
anyway,
closed on Mondays.
Yeah, hate Mondays.
I think it's talking about the knots.
Oh,
maybe. Or if Garfield had.
I thought you were just saying, it would be
true
because he hates
Mondays. I thought you were talking about nuts, but if it was, that's probably funnier.
Yeah,
that's funny. It's more funny.
Garfield hates Mondays. Now Garfield definitely became like Marmaduke in that there was like he hates Mondays, he squishes spiders, like he fit that. But early ones,
I think if somebody hasn't done it yet, we should do Marmaduke without Marmaduke. Because it would just be people bumbling around and complaining about nothing.
I didn't think dogs could be embarrassed.
Because Garfield without Garfield is like weird and really depressing, and you're just like. John, like, it's like this weird, sad thing with John, like, but Marmaduke doesn't really have a John.
No. In fact, what are any of the characters in Marmaduke named?
We don't know.
Besides Marmaduke.
Because they don't matter.
No.
Because it's Marmaduke's world. They're just living in it.
In fact, on the front cover, I couldn't tell you which one of the main characters.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're just kids.
They're just kids.
And he's crying because of ice cream.
I guess you got the dad with the skinny chin. He's kind of identifiable.
Kind of. And then you got, like, Blondie, but redhead.
Yeah.
Are they, like, a ripoff? Like, because he
kind of like
he kind of looks like Dagwood.
He has, like, a stretchy chin.
It's just, so the Marmaduke guy just kind of ripped off.
Blondie's got red hair. Dagwood with a long chin.
It is totally. So, wow, like, nothing in this is original.
Nope. We solved it. We just solved Marmaduke.
He just took Blondie and Dagwood and changed them a little bit.
Yep.
He's like, I guess it's got to have people.
Well, Dagwood liked to eat sandwiches, so Marmaduke likes to eat food too.
I wonder if that Dagwood sandwich shop is still there in Fullerton. I went there once.
I don't know.
I had the Dagwood.
It was good.
It's pretty good. There's a lot of weird. That strip mall is weird because it's got that laser tag place.
Yeah.
And I swear I've never seen anybody go in there, but I think that's still there.
Except we did a show there once.
You did a show at that laser tag place?
In Fullerton, you didn't know that?
No.
We had Joy Electric play in the Fullerton laser tag, like
in
the lobby.
Like?
It was awesome. It was
did you have like free laser tag?
Well, I mean, we had to pay for everyone had. It was a Biola event, so people had to pay however much for, and you got the concert and laser tag included. And so we did like a show out there, and then people went and played laser tag. It was weird, but Ronnie would come out and play anything for us, like. We had him in an ice skating rink. We did there.
Did you do a bowling alley?
Never did a bowling alley.
Oh no, Ann Lynn played at a bowling alley.
Ann Lynn played at a bowling alley, I think, and then
at Eagle Rock.
Yeah, that's right. Ann Lynn, a couple other bands. Right?
You know, a lot of like big bands have played at that Eagle Rock bowling alley. Like Jenny Lewis played there.
Well, Ryder was playing there. Like when they started getting big, they played there a bunch. We went out to quite a few shows there that were cool, but anyway.
crazy.
All right, what else? What else do we have here from Denver?
All this Kennedy talk reminds me of my experience because we were talking about the
JFK.
Kennedy assassination and what we would do to try and prevent it. Reminds me of my experience at the tragic spot. I went to Dallas in a U-Haul with a guy I worked with to pick up a hot tub from his sister. That's an interesting story. Yeah. We arrived Saturday morning, and I guess hot tubs are expensive, so if you get the offer of a hot tub,
I guess, yeah.
Drive to Dallas.
It's worth getting it.
We arrived Saturday morning and began to attempt to put the hot tub in the U-Haul. It took cutting some of the sides of the tub to slide it in diagonally. It was an all-day ordeal. That sounds like giant.
Awful.
That sounds horrible. Anyway, they had a live-in friend that agreed to take me to Daily Plaza. Said she lived in Dallas all her life and never been there herself. I had to point out the spot just by the movie. So she didn't. We got out and started to walk on the sidewalk next to the street, and the spots where the shots occurred, there were two nicely dressed couples walking just ahead of us when all of a sudden they yelped and yelled something while there were some popping noises. By the time I realized what was happening, the popping noises were at my feet, and I looked down and we were egged.
Oh my gosh.
What? They missed us, but the couples in front of us were less fortunate. I still believe there were two egg throwers, but I can't prove it. Dang.
I would think that would have like extra weight in its like criminal.
You're in Daily Plaza.
Yeah, you don't do anything there. You don't do stunts there.
Who does that? Who throws eggs at people in Daily Plaza?
That's the worst.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's like going. I don't even want to say other like tragic sites and doing tragic. I can't even go there. That's horrible.
Got to get back to being a number at my job. I know how you feel, man. Thanks for the free entertainment and let them cookies cool.
Nice.
That's a new one.
That's good. Let them cookies cool. It's like a hipper way of saying it.
Phil, stop trying to make this a thing.
Let the cookies cool is a real. It's already done.
Doesn't.
It's done.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Stickers will be ordered within the next week.
Somewhere Josh is yelling right now.
It's true. Let the cookies cool. It works. Try it. Believe me.
In all aspects of life.
It's universal truth. Let the cookies cool.
All right. Well, you know what you don't have to let cool?
What's that?
Stitcher, because it's always on.
That's
on
true.
Your phone, on the web, all over the place.
Yeah.
And you got all your favorite podcasts on there. Just if you haven't signed up for a free Stitcher account, use the code BrendoMan. And when you're listening to shows like our show, sure thumbs up.
That'd be great.
Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Write a thing. Write that iTunes review while you're at it.
Yeah. You know you've always wanted to.
Yeah. Be nice.
Well.
Or be mean.
Be honest.
Don't be mean.
Yeah. Please don't be mean. Please be nice.
We'll freak out. Phil doesn't like negative comments.
Apparently I don't deal well with that.
The first negative comment we ever got on Brax, like Phil lost his mind.
What do I do? I was like, told him, should I delete it?
Because you were gonna respond to him, and I'm like, do not respond to him. You're like, no, but he's not. No, I'm like, no. And then remember we got that really bad review.
Yes. Oh,
and
you
like that,
ripped it apart
like,
so
destroyed
bad.
us.
It was so funny. I remember he took the time to look up whatever disorder made your eyes twitch back and forth, and he said that's what our characters had because they just keep looking back and forth. I was like, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at there. Thanks, guy.
Thanks, guy.
But if you guys want to write something,
Yeah, and then while you're doing that, you can listen to all the Benview Network podcasts. We got a whole bunch of them. Is somebody texting me again? Nope. Oh, wait. Hold on.
All right, I'll read the podcast while you check.
Sorry.
Benson's Boombox, Benview on Spielberg, Comic Nerds Unite, Dinner Party Small Talk, Extra Damage, Flagons and Dragons, Friday Night Film Fights, Grissom on the Run, MBWS, Matt and Brendo's Wrestling Show, Midnight Marinara, Nerd's Eye View, Pick Your Path, Picture Start, Pillage Cast, Popsicles, Shut Up Leonard, and Star Wars Nerds Unite.
Hey, you did a good job
Pretty
there.
good, right?
Pretty good.
I almost lost it a couple times.
Pillage, Popsicles, Pip Pop,
Poppity Pop.
Pippity Pop.
Those are all good ones that you can listen to.
That's my new podcast. Pip Pop, Pippity Pop.
Pip Pop, Pippity Pop.
What would that be a podcast about?
Just saying as many things that start with P as you can.
It's about scatting.
Yeah.
Pip Pop, Pippity Pop.
Tonight on Pip Pop, Pippity Pop.
We're gonna bebop and skit-scatting.
We got some shoo-ba-doo-doo-bop-bop.
Speaking of scatting, you gotta watch Mighty Boosh. And I know it's not on anything.
Yeah,
is that what it's gonna take?
That's what it's gonna take.
Dude, because imagine Tim and Eric, but if it was a little bit more structured. But I showed you one. Didn't I show you one episode?
Couple, yeah.
Just all the weird songs, because they do a lot of songs and like scatting and all this other stuff, and it's the funniest thing. It's so funny because the guy, on IT Crowd, I don't know his name, the dude that lives in the basement. So that guy, and then like some of the other guys that are in it. Dude, it's so funny. Now I want to watch it again, but again, it's not on anything. That's how I ended up on like a BBC torrent site because they didn't even have it on like normal. And then that made me because I remember the first year Benson went to Comic-Con, he's like, "I'm going to see the Mighty Boosh. Do you guys want to go?" And we're like, "I don't even know what that is." And that was like the last live show they ever did. And now that I was like, Benson was onto something. Yeah. He's at the pulse.
He was. Didn't listen. Shop bop boo boo dop bop boo.
And I remember we almost got him to come to Smog Castle, and then that fell through. That would have been nuts.
That would have been cool.
That would have been crazy.
If you did, you could put together a website for it.
Yeah.
Host it.
On DreamHost. And if you want to sign up for an account there, just use the code Radio BrendoMan when you check out, and you will save $50. Get a free domain registration.
Good deal.
That's DreamHost.com.
That's nothing to scat about.
No. Unlike Scatman Carruthers.
Yeah. You went to Scatman-Doo.
Oh my gosh. Stop. Well, if you want to save some money to get to Scatman-Doo, use Amazon Prime because you pay once for your membership and then you don't pay for shipping, and it's fast. It's real fast. You also got that streaming library, Amazon Prime Music, all that other stuff.
I've been using that a lot lately.
Well, you get a free trial to Amazon Prime by going to radiobrendo.com, clicking that Amazon Prime trial link.
Yes.
Even if you got Prime already, or you feel like I don't need Prime, well, everybody buys stuff on Amazon, right?
Yeah, everyone. I do.
I bought a cable the other day.
Because why not? It's the cheapest.
Because I need a cable.
Yeah.
And I was looking at some books. I pre-ordered some books.
Nice.
There's a lot of books coming out.
Well, if you guys want to buy something on Amazon, you want to help
there was
a
big book sale. It was like online. There was like $1.99 Kindle books.
There you go.
$1.99 Kindle books. It's crazy. It was like free books.
Yeah.
I got like Aziz's book about romance.
Nice.
Jerry's like, you better buy this book, and I'm like, she's like, if you buy this and you don't like it, I'll give you $2. So I'm like, sold.
That's a good deal.
So I'm holding you to that. I'm gonna read this book.
What book is it? The Aziz one or a different one?
No, some other one.
Some random one. Okay.
Some science fiction-y book thing.
You have to tell us your report.
Well, I don't know when I'm gonna. Again, tons of books, so many books. I'm still getting through that story bundle.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it'll be a while.
Well, if you guys want to buy lots of books on Amazon, you want to help out the show, go to radiobrendo.com, click the Amazon link or banner down to the right, shop like you normally would,
and then we'll talk about it on the show. Anonymous, of course. We don't know who bought this.
Of course, unless you want to tell us.
But somebody bought a windshield washer pump with grommet fits. Fits a Chevrolet Astrovan, well, a lot of cars.
A lot of different cars.
Just lists cars.
That's way beyond my knowledge. I could not put that on there.
Amazon actually makes it pretty easy to order car parts because you just put your car model. I've ordered windshield wipers because windshield wipers are a freaking ripoff, like in places. Like, especially if you go to a place, like if you do it while you're getting an oil change or whatever,
don't do that.
They try to charge you like $40.
Even I can change windshield wipers. That's easy.
Did I ever tell you about the biggest Askew breakdown I ever saw in my life?
No.
The first time he ever tried to change his windshield wipers, it was crazy. Anyways, that was funny. Watching somebody, completely flip out. Because if you don't know what you're doing, because like it really doesn't make a lot of sense the way it's because it looks easy, but there is like a trick.
Well,
and every single kind is different. So if you don't know what you're doing, you will not figure it out just by messing with it.
Right.
And like I could see where you could get very frustrated.
Now, like the packages show you what to do. But
well, because I'm pretty sure murders happened because of, or at least marriages dissolved. Because of windshield wipers. Yeah. And this is why gas stations get away with like charging $34, because I think for a while people did not want to deal with this. Yeah. Because it took me a while to figure it out, but now once you actually do it, you're like, this is stupid easy. Yeah. After you paid like $10, but Amazon, you put your car in, and it's like, here's what you need. Here's the part, any part you can just order. That's cool. It's the right one. So I buy my windshield wipers because they're even cheaper than going to AutoZone.
I believe it, yeah.
Because even I feel like anything to do with cars, it just automatically. It's like people don't know any better, so we're just gonna charge them.
How much it is?
We're just marking everything up because it has to do with cars.
Yep.
It's stupid. That's why cars are stupid, because they're just freaking money pits.
Yeah, and we don't know any better.
Because I don't know. It's just annoying. All right. Ooh, look at this. Somebody bought the magic trap.
That may be.
I thought you had the whole thing.
No. I had most of them.
All right, well,
again, I've never read this before, so.
Jurassic World, so somebody bought the limited edition packaging.
Nice.
Ooh, let's take a look at this. Like? Probably looks cool.
Oh,
yeah, fancy.
Little tin thing.
2-disc Blu-ray.
Nice.
1982.
It's a good deal.
It'll be released October 20th.
That movie's so good. Wait, you still haven't seen it? Oh my gosh, it's so awesome.
Well, it's not at the Dollar Theater yet.
It will be soon. Because they did that re-release. That's going to take a little longer. With the IMAX.
They just did an IMAX release of. They're actually doing an IMAX release of Mad Max like this weekend or next weekend.
Oh, really?
But it's yeah. We got Green Foods True Vitality Plant Protein Shake, vanilla. So it's not soy-based protein, or it's not whatever. The whey protein, it's plant protein.
Oh, so it's no way.
Yeah, no way. That sounds like it'll be gross.
I don't know.
Vegetarian protein?
So what is it? What's it made of? I don't know.
Plants?
Plants are good. I like plants.
Probably tastes. I don't know. I want to hear about how that tastes.
I have a feeling that whoever's buying it is not buying it for like the flavor.
It's $22.80.
Although it is vanilla, so.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. But those gold standard ones, those actually taste good.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of protein. But this is like cheap. But I bet you this is a smaller package. Because, I don't know. I'd have to look into this. That's a 25 ounce. Because you get that giant thing. I don't know. I need to start doing that again. Because, like, I don't eat breakfast. And then I'm like, I don't know. Well, I have granola bars.
Not a real breakfast.
You got a Lasco 2-speed clip fan.
Is it like for a computer?
It is like a fan to clip on to whatever.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
I got maybe for your car.
Could be.
Keyhole mount for wall hanging. Oh, I guess like it's just for whatever.
I bet someone's got it right by their computer. You know, for their working. And then.
We got Star Wars Battlefront for PS4.
Nice.
People are getting pumped for that. Uncharted 4. Another PlayStation 4 game.
Someone's got some PlayStation 4 games coming up. Wait, is Uncharted 4 out already?
I don't think so.
That's not out yet, right? Holiday pre-order.
March 2016.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, look at that!
It's like a full.
It's like I got like a statue,
and
a map,
a book or something.
A book, all this stuff. A Drake statue, instant multiplayer unlocks. Look at all this stuff. Collectible steelbook case, hardcover art book, stickers. Naughty Dog points.
Wow. Looks cool. I still have never played an Uncharted game, but they look really, really fun.
Same here. That's weird, right?
Yeah. One of them, I mean, one day.
Is that Judi Dench? Not Judi Dench. Somebody.
Well, is that all the Amazon there? I think. Yes?
I do instant breakfast with almond milk.
Ooh. That's pretty good for 4 days there.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Thanks, guys. I mean, barely had a week. I mean, not even half a week.
Getting tired.
Well, let's. There's not a lot left.
We always say that.
Well, it's not. We'll
you
see.
Keep saying that.
We can plow through this. This will go fast.
Well, be sure to check out, if you go to radiobrendo.com, there are links to our Facebook group, our subreddit. And you can check those out. That's where that's our online. If you've listened to the podcast and you want more of the show, That's pretty much our Facebook group. Subreddit, nobody's on there except me and Craig, but if you want to get on there, make it happen, you guys. But Facebook group's pretty much where it's at.
Yeah.
We're always posting stuff, various stuff. Kickstarter.
Well, we got most everyone's votes in, so we'll be doing our final
Andres
round
is
of
still
voting.
he's trying to get a write-in campaign for a Wes Craven movie, Nightmare on Elm Street. 1, which I will tell you right now, that might be very interesting because Phil and I are both pretty big wussies when it comes to scary movies. So
I've watched that before.
Yeah, and it's
been a long
legitimately
time,
scary.
That's one that Johnny Depp is in, right? Yeah, so I've watched that one.
It's scary.
But it's been a long time, so I don't.
The last time I watched it, I got scared.
Yeah.
That part where Freddy's like arms, like where he's walking and then, like his arms get big, like it's freaky.
Well, they vote for it.
If they vote for it, we'll do whatever you vote for. I mean, we almost did Shame last year. So close.
By the skin of our teeth, we got out of that one.
I really want Angus, please. Oh,
there's been a lot of.
I gotta show you something. Tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
So I'll show it to you. I think I know what he did because at first I'm like, what the heck is this? So I checked my Twitter. I got a notification. This was the other day.
Okay.
And it said Charlie Talbert, who is Angus,
right,
has sent you a direct message.
Okay. What does it say?
It's kind of weird. I think he's just being nice.
Right.
But at first when I saw this, I'm like, what is this?
What did he?
So I said, hey, thank you for the show, for the follow. Just wanted to say Angus saved my life in high school as I was a pretty depressed fat kid, so thank you. And this was on August 1st. A month later, I think he's saying cheers.
Yeah.
It's just him holding his coffee cup. And he took a selfie.
Like in the car.
And then he sent it to me.
I mean, I guess that's cool.
It's a month later.
Yeah, but maybe...
Is that him saying cheers?
I think that's what it looks like. He's holding a glass up there.
It's just like a coffee cup.
Well, still.
And he's like, cheers.
And he's smiling.
Yeah, that's him. It's Angus.
There you go.
He sent me a picture of himself.
That's nice. I think that's nice.
It was just very kind of like, what is happening?
Cheers. That's all. Yeah. No caption would have helped.
Yeah.
To make sure that the intention was clear, but I'm pretty sure that's what he's saying.
Gotcha. But that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
You gonna tweet him back?
What do I tweet back to that?
I don't know.
How do I respond to that?
Put a picture of. Well, look.
Should I send a picture?
Yeah. Ooh, I don't know.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Totally. You guys could just have a whole chain of you dumb selfie posts back and forth.
He's in Joe Dirt 2, apparently.
I guess from that picture, apparently. How do you watch Joe Dirt 2? What is the weird thing that it's on?
I don't even know. I think it's on some web thing.
Like Crackle or something.
Oh, it's on Crackle?
Is that what it is?
I don't know. Because Crackle's on all the consoles.
Oh, okay.
And I think they have a website.
Is that a good way to release a movie? What does that say about the movie if that's the release it gets? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure. Isn't Crackle free? Are they just giving it away?
I don't know.
Because I know Epic's you have to pay for. But they also have a deal with Netflix, except now that's why all the movies are getting dropped off because they didn't renew their deal because I think Epic's wanted too much money. And now that Netflix has so much original content, they're like, all right, well, if you guys don't want to play ball, then I don't know. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting.
You should do that. You should send him back you doing double thumbs up at him or something.
But then he'll be like, what's this weirdo doing?
What? He sent you the one.
You sent me a picture of you holding a cup of coffee.
I don't know. That might be... It might be weird.
I just want to have a normal conversation with these people, but whatever.
At least he did something. Maybe it took him that long to get through all this stuff because, he's popular.
He only has 100. I have more followers than Angus. I have way more followers.
Well,
that's also kind of that kind of bums me out.
You don't have that many?
He has 180 followers. More people should be following Charlie Talbert. It's at Big Guy in the Tie.
He should have just been at I was Angus or something like that. That's probably part of the problem.
Adrian Palicki is following him.
There you go.
At least he's got some celebrities following him.
Yeah.
I wonder if they work together or something.
Maybe.
Maybe she followed him. don't know. Because she's not following a lot of people. Let me look at that. Yeah, she's following. Adrian Palicki has 103,000 followers. I mean, she's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that stuff.
Right.
And she's following 83 people, and one of them is Angus. That things are right in the world.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Well, you don't have to send him a picture, but if you do, you have to document it.
Weird.
You have to tell us about it if you do, because I want to see that.
I'm not doing that. I don't know. We'll think about it. I'll think about it. I mean, he's a comedian now.
Yeah, maybe you'll think that's funny.
It's funnier.
But you should do it and have like your Radio BrendoMan shirt on, and do it like in your Radio BrendoMan.
My Radio BrendoMan shirt doesn't exactly fit me.
Do you have a picture of you in it or something?
From Comic-Con.
Well, there you go. Just post that.
Photoshop.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
All right. We'll leave Charlie Talbot alone.
I feel like, just from like following him on Twitter and stuff, I feel like we're like this close to just running into him somewhere, and then I'm gonna freak out.
That'd be cool.
I'm gonna freak out.
What if you got to be cast in Angus 2?
That's not a thing.
What if it was? What if it was?
I would protest. That would be where I do get upset
what if they
because of
offered
the
for
sequel.
you to be in it?
Well, who would be in it?
All of them. All the remaining.
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates is
James
back.
Vanderbeek, Kevin Connolly.
They're all back.
They're all back.
They're all back, and you are the new character. And Angus is all grown up now. He's at a job.
So would James Vanderbeek still be the bad guy?
Yeah, well, he's
and Kevin Connolly, they're still thugs.
Yeah.
Chris Owen, they still bring him.
Yeah. And then he works at like a company, and you're his friend at the company. That's your role.
And James Vanderbeek's the boss.
Yeah, and he's mean to you guys.
Oh my gosh.
What if that? Would you do it?
Well, of course I would do it, but I would be freaked out like the whole time.
All right.
Kathy Bates is in it.
We'll see. Kathy Bates is in it still.
And the ghost of George C. Scott.
Yeah.
Well, he died in Angus. Yeah. Spoilers.
So yeah, they'll have a little like picture of him on the desk, you know.
Okay, and he'd be like, that was my grandpa.
Yeah, my grandpa always taught me this. Blah blah blah.
And I'd be like, I know what he taught you.
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Oh wait,
it's like a fourth wall breaking thing. It's like a Deadpool Angus sequel.
Remember that time?
All right.
You said
we'll see if we can get that to happen at our Long Beach Comic-Con panel.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
Angus 2.
Angus 2. We'll see if we can get that going.
See if we can get that going.
But, you know.
Well, they did put up they put the schedule out through Comic Book Resources.
I saw that.
And also, so the schedule in Comic Book Resources doesn't have the panel descriptions, but they sent out an email that has a link to a PDF that has the panel descriptions.
Well, and the on the comicbookresources.com, like the file they have that has the schedule, like I can't even read it on my phone. It's so like pixely. I don't know what.
I read it on my computer.
Well, yeah, try looking on your phone. It's like it's barely legible.
You got to think about that these days.
Yeah, but it is there.
Well, Long Beach Comic Con, September 12th and 13th. That's next weekend.
Yeah.
We're going to be in Long Beach next weekend.
Coming up, we're going to be doing our panel on Sunday at 11:30. And I haven't even been able to see what else is that we're up against yet, so I don't know. But
we're up against some kind of movie trivia panel thing.
Okay.
And some other stuff.
All right.
There's all kinds of panels. There's like
growing.
NASA panels. There's like they're doing a lot of big panels that I've seen at like other Comic Con. No Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, a bummer.
Yeah.
You realize
there's some other stuff.
Like the first time that we did this, there were like 8 panels,
panels total, and one of them was us.
One of them was us. Now there's like
tons.
Like what do they have? Like 7 or 8 rooms going now, something like that.
There's several rooms.
Yeah.
Panels going all day and night.
We're not the first. There is like one before us, which is good because I was worried that we were like.
Well, the one right. You know what the one right after this is?
No.
It's that I forgot her name. The one that does the steampunk webcomic that came to our panel.
Oh, yeah.
She's doing a panel about doing a Kickstarter.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool because she did one that didn't work.
Yeah.
And then she did one that did work.
And then she's done 2 successful ones since the...
Oh, that's cool. She knows us.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So she's doing the panel right after us.
That's very cool.
About Kickstarter with a bunch of other Kickstarters.
Nice.
People. I think that's cool that like somebody that came to our panel started doing a webcomic because of our panel.
Had not done one until she.
Then she had a table. Now she's doing a panel. Like
that's pretty awesome.
We're like the grandfathers of that panel.
Yeah. That's really, really cool. That's because of us.
At least we did something.
We did something. And we're still there. We're still doing it. So
still doing it.
It's going to be very cool.
Well, also that weekend, we got the Blaze podcast. Our good friends, Lizzie and Kat, are going to be doing their first live podcast at Nerd Melts at Meltdown. It'll be that Saturday the 12th at 7 p.m. Tickets are still available, 90210blaze.tumblr.com. Get those ticks. And they're going to have special guest Christine Elise, who played Emily Valentine on the show. They're going to be talking about Emily Valentine episode. There's also going to be a band.
Oh, that's cool.
And some other cool surprise guests.
Well, that's right. We talked about that because I said, what if it was Jamie Walters?
I would freak out. I just want to make sure there's still tickets because I don't even...
Now that you said buy them.
Now that I said that, I want to make sure that they have that. Where is the link? Here we go. Live show. Make sure. Like well, this was from a while ago.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see if they still have tickets. There, well, the thing still says buy tickets.
$5.
So
such a deal.
There you go. Tickets. Get your tickets.
Don't accidentally buy another one.
Buy 10 tickets. Well, there's tickets still available. You can buy them if you go to Now 210 Blaze and scroll down. There's a link there for that. You should have a link at the top of their page. That's okay.
That's all right.
But, yeah. So, also be sure to check out The Blaze with Lizzie and Kat. It's a great... They just did their Halloween episode.
Nice.
So, that's exciting. And, yeah, they're awesome. Oh, see right here at the top. Tickets to our live show.
Perfect.
Boom. Good job, guys.
Really, that do with that bop boo.
Yes.
That's with Lizzie and Scat.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh, Phil. All right. Well, today was Force Friday.
Today was Force Friday.
Which is basically just an excuse for them to sell
more
so
stuff.
Much toys.
People lined up for hours and overnights in some cases. I just wanted to mention because, I enjoy toys. I probably will get some Legos and stuff, but I definitely have never lined up to buy toys. But oh my gosh, I kind of wish I did for the BB-8 toy. It's that little droid. For those that don't know, the little round droid that show. And when we first saw it in the trailer, I think I know I did. I think everyone thought it was CGI.
Yeah.
Like,
so when they brought it out at Celebration, people were like,
"Whoa, it's
whoa.
real! It's a real thing!" And now you can get this toy, and it operates just like the real thing, smaller obviously.
Yeah.
But you control it with your iPhone or with your smartphone, and it does all the stuff it can do. It moves around. It does this whole scanning thing where it learns your room so that it doesn't bump into the walls anymore. You can record voice stuff. It even will do it doesn't actually project the holograms, but you can do a hologram like R2-D2, help us Obi-Wan, your only hope, except it reads on your phones. You can send holograms through it and stuff. It's incredible. It does all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
I want one very much.
Is that what you're gonna put on your Christmas list?
Put on my Christmas list. I want a BB-8. I'm not sure, because the IGN video said it was $150. The one at Target's $80, and I'm not sure what the difference is there, so I gotta do some research.
Derek is putting together his Lego Millennium Falcon as we speak.
Yeah, he waited. He camped out.
He got a few things.
Yeah.
Everybody was posting Facebook to this morning. It was just a bunch of my friends. It was funny. Kevin actually went in the morning.
Oh yeah.
He was. I think he might have gotten shut out on some stuff.
Well, I heard a lot of things were sold out by the time people got there.
Yeah, I feel unless you were there, but depending on where you went, because some of the store, I feel out here we might have done better,
yeah.
Again, in fact, you probably would have, if you were in LA, you probably would have been better off just driving out to just keep going east until you don't feel like it anymore, and then you probably would have been fine.
Yep.
So
that would have been smart.
Instead of waiting for hours to maybe not even get anything at the Burbank Toys R Us or whatever.
But unlike other things, we were talking about this earlier, because you said there's already been people that were buying them and reselling them.
Yeah.
That's not.
This is Disney we're talking about.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of these things.
So much of everything.
Don't worry. They're going to put out more. I'm not worried about it. Even if it takes a couple weeks. I doubt it, though. they're gonna have plenty of stuff out there. So don't waste your time buying stuff to resell it.
Lynch posted some of the Star Wars Rebels Disney Infinity toys that look real cool.
Yep.
Just all kind of. The new book is out that that goes between episodes
6 and 7.
6 and 7.
Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
I still want to say 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But
it's not.
We used to live in a world where that's what it would have been.
Yeah.
Because they basically what happened was when those THX editions came out, that's when it said episode 4.
Yeah, they didn't. That wasn't until
it was the THX edition. Even then, we're like, okay.
But A New Hope was added in the theatrical run during Empire, I think. But then they didn't do episode 4 until later. Is that right?
Episode 4 did not happen until those THX in like 90. What was that? 94.
Okay.
Or 93.
Okay.
Whenever those THX videos came out that had that George Lucas introduction, the ones that everybody has that had like the Stormtrooper, Yoda, the video that I have.
That's when the episode.
I think that's when the episode numbers happened.
Because I know they added New Hope when they did Empire.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the episode number.
Yeah, the episode numbers did not happen until way later.
One way or another, he's been retconning stuff since the very beginning, so it's nothing should really be surprising.
I still I want to say episode 4, and in my world, in my universe, this is episode 4.
So you realize, like, I've bought into this hook, line, and sinker.
Oh yeah.
I'm thrilled out of my mind.
I'm on board.
If another episode 1 thing happens, I think like some serious psychological damage could happen to me.
No, I don't think so. Here's why. Here's for me. Like. First of all, I still think it's impossible for something to be worse than episode 1.
I agree.
If it's just bad, like again, like I've already been heard about as much as I can be, and I say that now, but I still think it's true. Like, and also I don't see how it's humanly possible that this movie is going to be bad.
Oh, I don't either.
And even if it is, we've been through the worst possible, because you say you're all in, but you're still. I don't think it's even now that we've been through what we've been through. I know we talk about this all the time, but I don't think it's. I still think something broke that in May of 1999 where we will never be that excited for anything ever again.
But I feel like
you say that. But I don't think where anybody is at the level we were then.
But I feel like I have a new hope in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I do.
You say that. And I know you're saying that to get that little...
Yes, I am. But it's also true.
But come on. You cannot... We're never going to be that excited again.
But I don't know. JJ, I think, could do it. He could make it all better.
I hope he does. But I'm just saying we can't get hurt again like that. I don't think it's possible.
Well, I don't think we will. Because I think it's going to be amazing.
Even if it does suck, I still don't think it's going to be. I don't think it'll. One, I don't think it's going to suck. But even if it's, let's just say it's just okay.
Okay.
Or even if it's sort of bad, I can never be hurt as bad as I got hurt that day, because forever did it haunt my destiny. You know, like.
I hope so.
Because you're not going to have that feeling, because even if it's bad, like. Nothing will ever be as bad as because I was there. We saw it together. We were there, looking over and seeing you go. My holy crap! What is happening? Nothing. That will never happen. That can't. That's nothing will That's the low point. That nothing will go it won't go that low. It can't. It cannot.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think that was almost like a loss of innocence in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where I realized, like, oh, it won't always be wonderful. But now I have this new excitement for it.
Yeah, you're excited. I understand
that. It could reopen an old wound that would be very painful.
But it's still nothing.
It would be a different pain.
Nothing will be as bad, because having witnessed you going through it and going through it myself is because part of my pain was your pain, because I was even a little bit jaded, because I hadn't even gone. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, you didn't even see all the special editions.
I didn't see Return of the Jedi.
I didn't see Return of the Jedi theater, and so I was already kind of stinging a little bit from that. Yeah. But I mean, I remember being beyond. I mean, we were all beyond pumped. We watched that trailer. I paid. What movie did we go see to see the trailer? Like, what did we didn't even stay for? Like, I mean,
I don't know. There was all kinds of craziness.
We did that. We went to the theater just to see it, and like, I mean, we did all that because we were at that point. We didn't think that, like, we thought that like it's Star Wars. Like, what? Come on, like, how could it? And like, we should again. If we talked about this so much, but we should have known better, but we didn't. And we were, and like again, like I will never, and I say this with 100% certainty, I will never be that excited for a movie ever again. I haven't been. I never have. Like, I've been pretty excited for a lot of movies, but in the back of my mind, that will always be there, and especially like. Phil Vecchio, member of the Lucasfilm fan club, with the Star Tours posters, and looking over and just seeing you, seeing the devastation in your face. Because first of all, because it started off when that Lucasfilm and then that theme,
and the crawl,
and everybody went.
We're screaming,
and we were. That was probably the greatest moment of our young lives up to that point. Like. 18 and 19-year-old Brendo and 19-year-old Phil, that was about the height of our lives at that point, was being there in the theater for that and not being little kids, but being, this is it. Like, this is the movie that we've been living for. So that high point, and then to have it pretty much immediately just crash.
That opening scene is with the
it's the most
you assume too much,
and then it's weird, it's boring,
like racist,
and it basically sets the tone for the whole movie when you really
Jar Jar and then everything, and it just oh no, what's happening?
And just watching the devastation, and then even leaving the theater, if we were trying to like tell ourselves,
was cool,
and even then we were still because we had already made plans to see it like that. I remember we were gonna go back that day, and we were like, so we're gonna go. No, we're good.
I did see it twice because I took my dad to go see it.
I did not see it a second time,
but only because I was like, I mean, he wanted to see it because he wanted to see a Star Wars movie, but he was like, ooh, that wasn't. Yeah, the story wasn't as good. I mean, it just.
Maybe I did. I don't remember. I think I've wiped it from my memory.
I know I saw that one twice, but the other ones I only saw once.
I saw two at least twice because I was in Sacramento that summer and I had anything better to do, and I convinced myself that like the Yoda scene was great, but everything. But then I think my brother visited me, and then we started quoting some of the movie and we were making fun of it. And I'm like, this movie's horrible. Like, this movie's bad. And then I remember the point where I really wrote off the series was so. Basically, like we all kind of hate watch 3, right? Like by the time 3 happened,
yeah.
Like, and so because I remember I was living because it was 2000, it was the summer of 2005, and I had gotten back from China. I was living with Mike, and Mike and I are like, are we gonna do this? Like, cause midnight. I'm like, we have to, right? Like, I'm like, we have to see this through, cause then like, cause we're like. What if it's like watchable? Like, what if it's okay? And I'm like, I'll take okay at this point. And for me, I thought it was okay.
Okay.
Like, very okay.
The least horrible of the first.
But I remember Mike and I were like, okay, well, we got to watch the other two. And I remember so we put in 1, and then we fell asleep. And then we put in 2. And then we immediately, like, I remember just like, waking up in the middle of 2. And I remember waking up to the part where freaking R2-D2 is flying around in that factory and they're jumping around like Nick Arcade style, and I'm just waking up and I'm like, and it got to the point where Mike and I almost like, do we really want to go watch this third movie? Because it was right before we were gonna go leave and go watch it at midnight, and we were tired because we had fallen asleep during 2. And we're like, that was a terrible idea, and these movies are terrible. And then so watching the third one, and I'm like, and then I remember leaving and being like, I guess some of it was okay, but that was all pretty dumb.
No.
Yeah, well, then that, and then just like a lot of it.
Do you know that in one of the like special editions they added in Darth Vader yelling no when the Emperor throws him?
Yes.
What was like that's the part everyone made fun of in that movie, and then their idea was let's go and add this into Return of the Jedi. I know.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So I mean. again, nothing can be. That's the whole reason why I'm rehashing all this is because nothing can be that bad. Nothing. And also, we are forever scarred to the point where I don't think our brains will let us that happen again.
But I'm telling you, I am so excited.
I'm pumped.
That toy alone, watching that, I watched that video this morning,
well, dude,
and I was like,
I got pumped just watching the extra 2 seconds of Boyega with the lightsaber.
I love repeat.
We like everybody at work, like everything stopped at work for a minute when that like happened.
That was like literally 2 or 3 seconds. Of footage.
So the fact I feel like we're about to enter a danger zone.
Yep.
But people on the internet. Or this guy June already posted like, "What if it sucks?" And I'm like, we all know that that's out there because we should have been asking ourselves this question 16 years ago.
But JJ has delivered on some pretty big promises.
JJ saved Star Trek.
Yep.
And JJ's delivered for me on like everything.
Well, everything they've been super smart about unrolling,
and then that Comic-Con footage where you see all the practical effects, you see everybody. I mean, Simon Pegg is in it.
Yeah.
All these other people, they brought everybody back.
Well, and again, that BB-8, like to me, is testament that like it's so crazy that they invented this technology or whatever that looks like it's CGI, but it's real.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing real stuff.
They're doing a lot of real stuff, whereas. By episode 2, like that movie's a cartoon.
It is literally a cartoon.
Like I remember there was all the jokes like, are they gonna get nominated for best animated feature? Because they should.
Because all the like frolicking with the cartoon.
Because you look at the behind the scenes of like episode 2 and 3, it's a bunch of people in front of blue screens and green screens.
There's nothing practical.
There's nothing. Whereas you can actually have real behind the scenes because they're filming on locations, they're shooting, they're using models, they're using this, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Millennium Falcon, just having Millennium Falcon back. I mean,
that's all we wanted. Why didn't they ever show us where the Millennium Falcon came in the prequels?
He probably had an idea for it, and I don't even want to know what he would have done. It would have been, I guarantee, whatever it would have been stupid. It would have been like Kid Lando and like Kid Han, something real dumb, something stupid, and then somehow Anakin had an influence on him.
Yep.
It would have been something horrible. Like it would have shown like somebody was like designing a ship, and Anakin's like, you should put that there and there, and then it fades out, and it's like
the hidden floor that they hide in the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, that might come in handy someday, and then he'd wink at the screen.
It would have been something really stupid like that. Lando bought it from the guy from the diner, like something like that. Like that guy at the diner. But the fact that, like, I remember seeing that diner scene and being like, oh, that was pretty neat. And then I remember finding something where, like, it turned out, like, none of that was real. Like, none of it was real. Yeah. Even that just simple diner scene was, like, all... So, like, that's not going to happen.
I know. It's already... They've done so much.
But, again, like, I don't know. I'm more worried about an Indiana Jones sequel at this point than...
If they have Chris Pratt, then I'm all on board.
Yeah, but Lucas still might... As long as Lucas has his dirty hands in it, there's that huge potential for suck. Lucas has nothing to do with this. And you know what? Maybe, he's a philanthropist now, and he's doing whatever.
Good, you can do that. Just let us have it now, George. You've done your work.
Well, if he does, maybe he'll do the same thing for Indy, but I doubt it.
Doesn't Disney own Indiana Jones now?
Nope.
So Lucas has it?
Co-part.
Something?
It's still Spielberg, Lucas.
Well,
I think they own it, but I think Lucas and Spielberg have to coordinate.
Well, I have hope for it. As you know, I actually enjoyed Indy 4, but I realized that, it was the lowest on the list for me of there, obviously.
Crazy.
It was not. When you walked out of it, you said you liked it. I remember.
That was me convincing myself. I did the same thing, and then the moment I watched it again, I was like, "This is terrible." And then the final nail in the coffin for me was watching that riff tracks, where they just emphasized the fact that like half that movie, nothing is happening, nothing is happening, and Shia is horrible.
Their best bit was that like during the slow part,
and they go dun dun dun, and like they did that a lot.
It was good. I give the riff tracks guys.
And That was like the best, the Baby Jessica joke, like, because that came out, because like I'd forgotten about Baby. The fact that like they threw that out there, that was like the best thing. I think I have not laughed that hard in a long time.
Is that riff tracks available?
I don't even know. I think that might have, because that was like one of those
like a special one.
Special
ones.
Did
they release them or not?
I don't know.
Because that one was one of their best ones ever.
Yeah.
Like I loved it.
It was great.
We went with Brian, who's in the chat.
Yep.
So. Let's see. That was just my one thing.
There's a new Disneyland band? I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, there's been some controversy behind the scenes at Disneyland
over this. What's going on?
They disbanded the original Disneyland band.
They've been wanting to do that forever.
So
they've been trying to do that.
You know who was in the band? Frank Lenz up until he was like in the band. Like,
well, you know who else was in the band? It was a fill-in. Somebody we knew from Biola. Now I forget his name. There was a dude from Biola he was like an alternate and he played a lot with the band. Now I forget who it was. But.
So there was just a big controversy about that because that was one of the like original institutions, you know.
Yeah.
And it is no more, at least not in its original form, you know.
Well, it's because they've been wanting to do that. It did the same thing with Dapper Dan's, so they can have it under the new entertainment thing in the way that they hire and pay people.
Right. And
they want it all under that structure.
Yeah.
It's borderline evil, but I can't defend all of because we worked at the park. We know how things operate. I cannot defend a lot of their practices.
But they are efficient in what they do, so.
And I love that park.
Yes, indeed.
But there's some definite, some
serious gray areas there. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all of my stuff.
All that off of BB-8. We're really tearing through
3
here.
3 letters and one punctuation mark got us like 40 minutes or something.
I just wanted to talk about how Pokemon Shuffle is now on mobile devices, and it's amazing. And I don't know if I told you this.
Okay.
Here's might also entice you. I don't know if you saw this, but the 3DS game gives you a code for the phone game.
Yeah, I saw that.
Then when you play the phone game, it gives you a code for the 3DS game. And I got some items.
It's all free.
Yes. And I'm already on level 71 on the mobile game.
That might be enough to entice me to at least.
That was what got me. Is codes.
I saw that, but I didn't realize they would do it back.
Oh, of course they would, because that's how they get you.
Smart.
And they've promised more in the future. And if you go on Reddit, there's all kinds of codes going on. I do need to have
games on there for the kids to play. I'm supposed to have games on my phone.
Yeah.
For when there's downtime.
This is the only game you need, man.
That's it. The kids love because they play Pokemon Shuffle on their DSs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think you might have convinced me with that argument there.
It's on Apple. It's on Android. It's awesome.
It's free.
You should connect your Facebook account, and then if we're Facebook friends, because then you can send each other hearts, and it's great. It doesn't spam people. It just if you're Facebook friends, you can send each other hearts. That's all it does.
All right.
And you can see where your friends are, and I'm like way ahead of everybody I know. It's great because I know all the strategy because we've had like months of preparation.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure because people there's a lot more there's a lot more to it than Candy Crush. I am telling you.
Oh yeah.
There's like lots of strategy involved.
There is.
You got to know what to do. There's a lot more than just like finish the level as fast as you can. You got to think about how you're going to be able to capture guys, item usage, coin saving, when to spend coins.
Well, then the special moves that the different guys do and picking them.
And all that stuff. There's different Pokemon types. So it's like Pokemon plus a puzzle game. Plus you got to know where to use your hearts. Like, you got your limited stuff.
Right.
Like I don't know. I mean, we can talk about this. Let's just talk about it now. There's an all-new Pokemon Safari right now on the 3DS.
Yeah.
I finally got one of them, but I'm messing. I ended up. I have a favorited on my phone the type chart. So I'm like, I'm gonna go after this guy. What goes well against this type, and then going off of that. Because that's the way you beat those Safaris. I ended up getting everything off of that old Safari, including Staryu.
I did too. I wound up getting them all.
Because what I ended up doing is I'd focus on one and I'd just keep playing until I got it. But I'd have the type set up against that one that I wanted, and then once I caught that one, then I'd change it up to whatever. You do end up burning through because you end up fighting the same guy a lot, but then you definitely you have a better chance So yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks for hanging out in the chat there.
Thanks, can you give it? Oh yeah. So Brother Lou does have this game. You can get it. It's on Game Jolt. I did do I don't know if I told you about this, Phil.
What?
Ginyu made a game called It's Monos Hands of Fate.
Okay.
The game Path of Brother Lou, and it's a overhead like adventure game. I recorded a voice for it.
Oh, this was like a while ago.
Yes.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
I remember, and you can get it on Game Jolt.
That's cool.
And I'm a voice in it.
You should get like an IMDb page.
I don't think you get that off of that.
They have video game voice acting.
Dude.
Seriously.
Dude.
Do it.
Also, Ginyu pointed out to me, Monos is getting a special edition Blu-ray.
Nice.
With like all new special features, a commentary with the people that are still alive.
Does it include the MST3K?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that's okay.
But it does have it's like the best looking, because like even the MST3K, the print looks terrible.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's the best looking print of it that I've ever seen. So thank you. Can you also check out L's Supercast on YouTube?
You're going to be a guest on it.
Yes. Which if you go back, I'm on a few of them.
How did I not know about this?
I don't know. I told you about it.
Maybe so. Well, anyway, check that. A new one with you is coming up.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I guess I should be promoting those things.
Yeah. Well, when it goes up, we'll share the link and stuff.
Talk about stuff.
That's cool.
But he's been interviewing me since before, like, Smodcastle.
Really?
Like, I remember we had an episode where I talked about Brax.
Huh.
The whole time.
That's very cool.
This time I think I talk about wrestling and Comic-Con and other stuff. I don't know if I think I was supposed to meet Ginyu because he like was listening to Bagged and Boarded, and then he started messaging me, and then like we were gonna meet at Comic-Con because he used to be a vendor at Comic-Con, like one of the collectibles, but and then I didn't make it over there, and then he's like, well, we can start. Will you be on my podcast? And I was like, sure.
That's cool.
He was the first person to ever ask me to be on my podcast.
Huh. That's awesome.
So, yeah. I guess that's his real name, is Pito.
All right.
But yeah, check that out. The Monos Hands of Fate, Path of Brother Lou.
I'm telling you, we need to see about getting you an IMDb page.
How do I get an IMDb page?
I don't know. We're going to look into this.
And then I would just have that one credit?
Yeah. Well, it's good. Jeff Edwards, we were looking at his the other day. He's got a couple on there now.
Yeah. Well, he actually worked on movies.
Yeah.
He worked on Kung Pao.
Yeah, but the funny part is they don't have that listed. They have him on like Thumbtanic, like one of the other ones that he did.
Didn't he
He worked on a couple things.
Didn't he basically do the whole opening scene
Well, he did the set. He was set decorator on that, so that's what he was like. But then on Thumbtanic, didn't he end up doing like AD stuff? Well, he was actually one of the thumb models.
Oh, okay.
For one of them, and I can't remember which one it was, but he's like one of the girl ones because I guess Steve
girly thumb Odekirk. Not Odenkirk.
Not Odenkirk. He said that he thought his thumbs looked girly, like he had nice thumbs, so he's like the girl thumb. So anyway, so yeah,
a PWG Bola front row guy. I mean, I could get like a credit.
Oh,
for
there you
that.
go. Yeah, you're on that. I don't know. We could come up with some other stuff. You like were extra. You were an extra and stuff.
That doesn't. I think if this video game from like here's the game.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Then we can submit like you were an extra in X-Files episode.
I don't think you get credit.
Yeah, sure. Uncredited. It says uncredited.
I don't know how that works.
We got to look into this. I can't believe
I was just thinking about
before.
like how do I? As I was thinking the other day, I'm like, what do I have to do to get an IMDb page?
I think you have one now.
This might be it.
This could be it.
I gotta find the game on this Game Jolt, and then maybe I could. There's a submission form.
Oh, dude, this is gonna be good.
And then that could be it. Then I gotta have like a headshot and all that stuff.
Well, not all of them do, but you should.
I want to have it. Come on,
dude.
And then it could be like fun facts.
Red State watched production.
Yeah.
Hung out behind the scenes at this and that.
Hung out, ate food, ate craft services.
Craft
service eater.
Participants.
I did
craft service participants.
I drank on the set of Red State. I seriously drank like 10 Diet Cokes because they were there.
There you go.
And and I think I ate some food that I wasn't supposed to. Well, because like they had like different levels of meals. Because I guess like different contracts, they have different levels of meals. And I think I ate like, because I didn't know, and I think I got like the nicest one, and because I was like, wow, this food's real good.
Great.
And then like some of the other production people I noticed they didn't have like they had like some like. It wasn't like bad food, but it was like they had like burgers and stuff, and I'm eating like a steak or something. They're like, "Where'd you get that from?" I'm like, "Up there." Like, yeah, you were supposed to get that. I was like, "Whatever." I ate John Goodman's turkey melt. He was mad that day.
Well, this is good.
I did drink a lot of craft service Diet Cokes and ate a lot of. They had like craft service is exactly what I thought it was gonna be. Just every food you can imagine.
Yeah, it's great.
And just sitting there and eat it.
On our productions at Biola, a lot of times I would like drive, because I was one of the people that had a car, so I'd drive around and pick up the stuff from whatever place donated it to us. We had a lot of pizzas that summer because we got a lot of pizza places that would donate stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
I remember, didn't you guys have to go all the way up to Bakersfield or near Bakersfield
I didn't
to
go
do
on that
some of the
one,
location shooting?
Some people did, but
Did Janelle have to go?
I don't think she did. Sunny went.
Okay.
But I think Janelle and I were like, yeah, we were busy. We're not going to Bakersfield.
This is where you did like some of the internal.
Well, it was actually like for an external shot.
Oh, okay.
They wanted it to be. It was so. This part of it was dumb. I mean, this movie was.
I remember that's what the complaint was like. You could get that shot anywhere. And
right, but they wanted it to be like an open, expansive road, and we're like, you don't have to go all the way to Bakersfield to get that. But they wanted it to be. She had it in her mind that it was going to be this big long stretch of straight road that was just empty.
And to go all the way.
So they went to Bakersfield for it, and it was for like at the end they wanted to do a scene where like. Because there was a accident, and so they had to cross by the side of the road, to show someone died there, and there was them placing like a gold necklace cross like on the thing and mourning it, and then that was it. Like that was the whole shot.
That's very disrespectful to whoever's actual memorial.
Well, no, they set it up. Like they set up a fake one.
I thought they were using like a real.
No, because the whole in the movie.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. So. But
that movie was pretty dumb.
It was so bad, so bad.
Didn't you have like 3 different parts in it too?
Well, yeah, because I was a student in a couple different shots. One of them,
I was a doctor.
I was a doctor. I was a coroner. I actually had a line in it, and I said GSW, paperwork's on your desk, like gunshot wound. That was it.
Oh.
But I also was like licking a lollipop because I was like a, callous coroner guy. Also, probably terrible acting. But then I was also a student that were like, she passes out papers to us. So in that one, I'm supposedly an adult, But then I'm like a high school student. And then I'm like, oh. And then there's one where like, we were like just in the background of the shot, but like we were goofing around, like got in a fight and stuff in the background. And I think we got in trouble for that later when it was found out that we did that stuff. But yeah.
That's one of like, as looking at background, there is like a few shots in Freaks and Geeks where like there's one where Sam Levine and Martin Starr are, but they kept that shot because I'm like, they're just totally like. There's another shot where there's one shot where I'm still trying. I want to ask somebody about this. There's a shot where like at the dance and Jason Segel is like making the weirdest faces because it's like panning across the whole, and he's just like standing there just being all weird, and I'm like, does he know he's on camera? Like, what is happening right now? It's kind of like the shots everybody makes fun of in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, when they have like that big the big Morris Day and the Time concert.
Okay.
So didn't you just recently?
Yeah, I just watched it.
Okay, so there's Morris Day and Time concert, and Will Ferrell's there with Shannon Elizabeth.
Right.
Malcolm is like standing right next to them, and he's just like basically standing there almost looking at the camera, just very out of place. And I'm always like, I always give him crap. I'm like, Malcolm, what the heck were you doing in there? And apparently he was supposed to be mimicking, because he was also in Mallrats.
Okay.
And there's a scene where Malcolm's just like staring at the camera pretty much. So that was Kevin, and like, because he didn't know what else to do. So that was Kevin's way of like referencing that. So in James Allen Parker, even though he knew better, they still had him do that same exact thing where he's basically just standing there staring at the camera.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I could, if you ever watched, that's the thing. If you watch a Kevin Smith movie, I would point out every single little cameo, all the random people. I know, like, the dude, there were 2 dudes that used to run newsaskew.com. I know where they are in Dogma. Like, I can tell you where Lynch is in every movie that he's in, because I know where he is in Dogma also. And then also in Dogma in the church, there's a bunch of Marvel Comics guys. Joe Quesada's in like 3 movies. Anyways, I know, like, there's a lot of weird stuff like that.
Incidentally, that scene where I had a line was the second time I played a coroner in a Biola film.
Oh, yeah?
Because also in my Blue Glue movie that I talked about last week,
yeah,
I was the coroner that, like, the detective comes and investigate about the murder that happened, and, like, Sonny was the dead body, and I was like, played it like a hunchback, like Igor kind of thing. And like I pulled back the thing, and like her body, she was like laying very still, and oh, this is the body or something. That was so bad. So
because all coroners are weird, creepy hunchback dudes.
Yep, one of them
was Phil's
and I played 2 of them. So
great.
There you go.
All right, well,
Book corner.
Pokemon Shuffles on mobile devices.
That's what that was.
Was.
Okay.
Did I get another?
Obviously.
Okay. Yeah. I was just looking at that.
So what'd you read?
Work is there's something.
There's
work. Like a situation going on.
Is there really?
I'm glad I don't have to.
At like 1:45 in the morning.
Well, it's probably like a cloud thing or something. We have like servers around the clock, like our product, and so they, like, if they're monitoring stuff, like, I don't know, I'm not part of that team, but our team gets alerts. So somebody's dealing with stuff right now, holiday weekend. So I finished the Put This in Your Brain, which is the essays from, it's called Unwinnables, the magazine. It's like an e-magazine. Right now they're actually offering subscription for like $2 a month. And they got a lot of good articles. I was very impressed overall. There was, as I said in my Goodreads review, there's some pretentious, but overall, like, very informative. I actually wrote down some of the games they talked about because I never heard about some of the games before they were talking about. And then, like, lots of cool little, like, historical type articles, and just some really well, like, a lot of them are like people's personal experiences playing these games. And that's stuff I always love reading about, like kind of the boss fight books type stuff. And it's very enjoyable. So I highly recommend it. You can get that, I think, on Amazon, or from the, because it was part of the story bundle, but now I think I don't think you can get it on there anymore. Although there are 2 new story bundles, and it's kind of like a Humble Bundle, but with books. Right. But Humble Bundle also has a book bundle, but they also sometimes it's comics. I think right now it's comics. All on Humble Bundle. You might be into this.
Okay.
They are offering basically all the Star Wars audio novel, including ones performed by the cast members.
Really?
And for like $10.
That is interesting.
And it does seem pretty cool. So that's what's on Humble Bundle. But anyway, so I think you can go, if you go on the Unwinnable website, I think it's the best way. Yeah, it's called Put This in Your Brain. It's got an introduction, a really good introduction for Gerard Way. And that sort of stuff. I'm still reading the rest is Noise. We're now into World War I, and
you're trucking on. You weren't sure if you were going to
Schoenberg. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm still like, I only read like a few pages a day because I don't read before I go to bed these days. Because by the time I go to bed, I'm like,
right.
And then I'm reading ebooks at work, and so I don't really have a lot of time to read. I mean, I was reading tons of books when I didn't have a job. It's like. But I might read some this weekend. We'll see. And then on my phone, my ebook reading right now, continuing from the story bundle about video games, I'm reading the Hardcore Gaming 101 presents Castlevania.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Pretty
cool. It's super in-depth. It goes through every single Castlevania game, like in order. And like it talks about all the different versions and all the like the variation between like regions and the characters and like the storyline. And just reading it, like I didn't even know there's so many freaking Castlevania games, and there's all kinds of different offshoots, and
the timeline is like totally crazy,
and it's just nuts. But it's a super informative book, lots of cool pictures, lots of cool trivia, just a really well researched book. If you like Castlevania, if you like video games, if you're like. And there's a bunch of them that I want to play again now.
You got into the Game Boy Advance ones?
Those were the favorites. Well, those because basically they those are all based off of like Symphony of the Night. Like that kind of started the Metroidvania as we know it, where it was non-linear and RPG type situation. Because everything before that did not do
much
that.
More
like it all started with, which never actually came out here until the Wii Virtual Console, was the PC engine Rondo of Blood, which Symphony of the Night is a sequel of that, but that one never actually came out here. Like I did not play it until it came out on the Wii Virtual Console. I know people were paying fortunes to import it for PC Engine because it didn't even come out for TurboGrafx. It came out again only in Japan, and that was like many people were like, that's one of the best video games ever made. Period. Definitely like the best 2D side scroll. So, but Symphony of the Night, I had that on PlayStation, and for me, that was like where I was the reintroduction to Castlevania, because like I never played 64 just because I didn't like the look of it, because it kind of added 3D graphics. But I remember, I mean, as much as people give the game a hard time, I love Simon's Quest. Like I never even came close to beating it. No, but super fun, I love playing that game because that was the first one that had like the RPG type stuff and some of the. But
it was a little more non-linear.
Yeah, well, it's very, especially because. But there's things in Simon's Quest where unless you had a guide or like
your Nintendo Power,
like you would have no idea what to do.
Yeah,
like no freaking idea. But I just think about the music is so awesome, and all the Castlevania music. I mean, this is some great music. But yeah, the Game Boy Advance games and then the DS games.
Yeah,
like super awesome. Yeah. And so it's just great reading about it. It makes me want to play some of these other ones. I want to get like because you can get Symphony of the Night on like Xbox or PlayStation 3. You can get I don't know. I want to maybe go in the Wii and get on the Virtual Console, even on the Wii U, on the Wii.
Yeah, and get some of those.
Because you can still get Rondo of Blood.
Yeah.
And
you could play it on your Wii U.
Yeah. And then there's the arcade one, which I remember playing at a Chuck E. Cheese. It's Haunted Castle.
See, I never played that.
And it's like it's Castlevania, but it's totally different.
Huh. And then you've got the Simon from the Captain N. Whoa! Simon Belmont.
Yeah, like what?
I don't know where they got that. How that happened.
Yeah, so it's been cool reading that book, and I actually am gonna go pick up from the library. I've got the next Lemonade, Candy
Smash.
Candy Smash.
Yeah.
Candy Smash, because I remember I was saying Candy Crush.
Right.
Candy Smash. And I got Go Set a Watchman. I'm gonna have to blaze through that because I'm gonna have 2 weeks. Because when I reserved it, I was 45th.
So they're like
they got tons of copies though. I think.
Yeah.
Like I mean, that's for the whole library system, and this is like a big hot. I mean, again, this is the second book Harper Lee's ever released.
Right.
So it's a big deal, and so I'm interested. Definitely interested.
I'll be curious to hear your take.
We'll see. So what about you?
Well, I finished reading Sideways Stories from Wayside School with the kids.
Yeah,
and
still love it.
They love it. It's, I mean, like every day we read, at least 3 or 4 of them. It's perfect because they're little, 3, 4, 5 page chapters at the most.
I remember my teacher reading those.
Yeah. Oh, they're just, they're cackling with laughter. It's so much fun. Some of them they like so much they make me go back and read them again. Oh, read this one again. It's so good. Mm-hmm. So now we're reading the second one, Wayside School is Falling Down. That's super fun. And then I read actually most of both of these other 2 books that I was reading, but I haven't finished either of them. I think I have 10 pages left of the Peanut Butter Poltergeist. It's kind of it either is going to be like a Scooby-Doo where it was all fake all along,
or it's a real ghost,
or else it's gonna be I still don't know. 10 pages from the end.
I love how sometimes they mix that up because I remember usually reading Fear Streets. There was a whole period where it was always like a Scooby-Doo type thing. Right. Oh, it was this or oh, it was that. I remember reading a Fear Street, I think it was called The Secret Bedroom, where it actually ended up being straight up ghosts. And that's where I was like, whoa. Whoa. Yeah. R.L. Stein's throwing a wrench because I thought I had it all figured out. Because it was always in the Stepsister, it wasn't wasn't a ghost and it wasn't the evil stepsister. It was actually the other sister who ended up being secretly crazy or like this and like that. I mean, but I remember there's always those weird moments where I remember that book because it was a ghost, and then I remember this one called Broken Hearts because there was straight up real murders in it. Like people actually got killed, and I'd never read a book where anything like that happened before, and that's where I was like, should I be reading this?
Is this okay?
Like, whoa! I mean, of course, like 6 months later, I was reading Stephen King.
That was the gateway book. There.
Well, it's funny. I just recently remembered how I was introduced to Stephen King because so again, talking about Facebook, I am Facebook friends with one of the guys that was in my Boy Scout troop.
Okay.
And I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but my Boy Scout troop was not your normal Boy Scout troop. You know, you think about Boy Scouts, think about nerdy kids, think about like kind of like dorks. My Boy Scout troop was like the coolest Boy Scout troop in the world. Like there was mostly older kids, but like a lot of them like got Eagle Scout and then just kind of like hung out. But like, and all the kids, like I was a dork, but a lot of the other kids, there was this whole group of kids in there that I remember they were into skateboarding when this was like in the early 90s. Like nobody was into skateboarding. They were into skateboarding. Because I remember they made videos. Like I didn't know anybody that they actually bought like they had like an editor like with like title. They had a title machine and they made skate videos. They made sketch videos. They made like these weird sketches. Like they listened to punk rock. They listened to like alternative stuff. I remember they listened to like Dead Milkman and like all these other bands, like a lot of punk rock stuff. Before I even knew what punk was, they were listening to that. And like they were like cool kids. And one of them, like I remember we were at snow camp in Wrightwood, like where we camped out in the snow. It's from San Diego. That's like a big deal. And which basically entailed us, like I just remember being so cold. Just like freeze, and I'm like, why are we doing this? And I remember putting on my Walkman and basically crying myself to sleep because I was so cold. But one of the things was I remember like seeing because they were always into something new and like always into stuff. Like that's how I found out about like Metallica and like all these other bands, like Nirvana. I think the first time I heard Nirvana and Red Hot Chili Peppers was on a Boy Scout trip because these guys they were the forefront cool kids. Like a bunch of them ended up being in bands. One of them, Anthony, I think I showed you. He worked at Lou's Records later on, and he's got his picture. And he made a zine, and I remember asking Lou. I asked Lou, I'm like, does Anthony still make a zine? He's like, oh, he hasn't made a zine in a while, man. But yeah, so. But Anthony, like these were the kind of kids, like he was working at Lou's Records when he was in high school, and they were making skate videos, they were skateboarding, they were doing all kinds of cool stuff. So, anyways, we're at snow camp, and this guy Matt was reading out loud. He was like reading a passage from it, and it was like something like super messed up, like super. And that's why he was reading. He's like, listen to this, and it was like messed up. And I was like, whoa. And then he showed me the cover, and I was like, whoa, and like just being like blown away because I was already like like I was reading things, but I was like getting bored because I was by this point I think I was in like 7th grade, and I probably could like if I had the books I could easily read at like an adult level, but I was still reading. Again, I was reading like Fear Street and maybe like I forgot what else I was reading, but a lot of like I was still reading like Judy Blume and kids books and reading like this, but like reading like Super Fudge for like the 100th time, and like I hadn't quite made that next leap yet. I think that was when Ray Bradbury had come to our school, so I maybe had started reading some Ray Bradbury.
He was an early adult type reading for me.
But then listening to this guy read it and being like, this is a book? Like, this is crazy. And so then I remember getting home, and I think I bought it at the grocery store. I convinced my dad to buy it for me. And that was the first thing I ever read, and it was just like, whoa. Blew my mind in so many ways, also scared the living crap out of me. And then I remember I watched the show when it came out. We were at my grandparents' house because my grandparents left. And this is the most scared my brother and I probably have ever scared ourselves was we watched it like by ourselves in my grandparents' farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. And they did not come back for hours. And I remember those hours were like the longest, most, because we were like, we're getting home, just being, both of us, just being terrified.
It's funny because, like, I have
then from there,
like a different, like, I wasn't Stephen King for me, but like that transition from kid books to adult books, you know. I mean, obviously, I still like to read kid books.
Yeah.
But for me, I think that the main catalyst was The Princess Bride, because I love The Princess Bride. I read that book like 20 times, and then I'm like, oh, this author has written other stuff. And then, like, that's the only one really, aside from that and the Gondoliers one, like, his other books are very adult. So then I, like, you know, Marathon Man. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the other for me was Fletch, because I love the movie Fletch.
Oh,
then I like pulled those books out, and then that just opened up this whole new world. I guess
my brother also reminded me, because when we were writing my stand-up routine, because somehow we started talking about Silence of the Lambs, and then he's like, that was pretty weird that we saw that when like it came out, right? Because I was like 9 and you were like 11. I'm like, yeah, you want to know what's more weird is I read that book before the movie came out, so I must have been like 10. And I read that book, and then I remember I brought it to the farm, and then my grandma was like, what are you reading? I'm like, Silence of the Lambs. And then I don't think she knew what it was or anything. So then she read it, and she's like, are you supposed to be reading? I remember her very like, are you supposed to read this? I'm like, oh, sure. That's cool. And then she's like, yeah, I guess it's all right. And like, she's like, that was an interesting book. And like, again, Buffalo Bill. And like, the book is, although that to me is still one of the best like book to screen, because like somehow Demi even like managed to get the subtext. And that's the big part, is like is missing in so many of these adaptations is the subtext of the book. And somehow Demi like managed to get it all in there, and it's there. Like you were like all that subtext, like Clarice and her dad and all this stuff. Like he manages to convey that in the movie, which is very rare. And that's why for me it's like one of the best. But the fact that I was thinking about that when I was like 11 years old, like I don't think I should have been like thinking about any of that stuff, and serial killers and like all the other weird.
I was still reading 3 Investigators books at that point. That was like the.
I don't even know how that. Here's how that happened. I think I watched. I think I know the chain. So I had a friend named Ethan. He was that weird kid that subscribed to Entertainment Weekly when we were like 1990. Okay. And he would always tell me about like what's going on in movies. And he's like, oh, I'm really excited for the Oscars this year. Billy Crystal is hosting, and I think Silence of the Lambs is going to win. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? I'm 10. Like, you know, like I'm 11. Like I want to watch. I'm really excited for. Do you have anything in that Entertainment Weekly about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2? Like, I remember, like, that was, like, the big thing. It was like, what's going to be in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I heard Bebop and Rocksteady. I heard the Technodrome's going to be in it. Like, we were talking about, like, all this stuff. So he's like, oh, no, this is – because I remember I watched the Oscars that year, and they wheeled Billy Crystal out like Hannibal Lecter, and I'm like, what the heck is this? This looks weird. And then seeing the clips, and somehow – and so – I remember asking my dad if we could rent the movie, and he's like, well, you have to. And my dad, I don't know what my dad was thinking. He's like, I'll let you see this movie if you read the book first, because there's a book. And maybe he didn't think I was going to do it, but I'm like, all right. And so I'm like, buy me the book. And he bought me the book. And then I brought it to the farm, and I read the book. And then because I read the book, I'm like, all right, can we rent the movie now? Because it had come out on video. And then I watched it. I watched Silence of the Lambs when I was like 11 or 12, maybe 12. It couldn't have been older than 12. But because I had read the book, I don't think it messed me up that much, except the part where Buffalo Bill is dancing around the lady's skin. That's still like the most messed up thing.
Pretty messed up.
And yeah, 12-year-old Brendo, I don't know.
I didn't see it until like late high school, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
When I started like buying VHS tapes, you know.
Yeah.
And I picked it up. Because I remember like I was aware of it, because I always followed, like, even when I was in high school and junior high, I loved looking at like they would list box office stuff in the like newspaper, you know. And I loved, for whatever reason, I was like following I still do, like, obsessively now that I have Box Office Mojo. But anyway,
does Box Office Mojo still have that box office game? Because I played that like forever.
I don't know.
Where you could like you could predict, and like then you'd have like picks.
Maybe,
because if it does, we could like make a league or something.
If they
used to have that, because there was also a thing, because Nepper and I were doing it. It was like this stopped, It was awesome because I totally would be all about this. You basically, it was like you had your own movie theater, and then you only had a certain number of screens, and you picked which movies you wanted, and you could do, if you knew a movie was going to do really well, you could show it in multiple screens, and then whoever made the most money, and whoever made the most money, and it was based off of real grosses, and we had our own little league.
Oh, I want to do that,
but it's gone. And I've looked online. There is nothing like that. Nothing exists.
That's super cool.
Because I remember I got really good to the point where I started learning. It got to where I'm I could, even now, you have your on average 50% drop off between week 1 and week 2.
Right.
And then from there, it's a sliding thing. And it kind of goes. And I got so good at that, man. I got so good. And I was blowing everybody out of the water. I had the most successful movie by far, because if I saw something big on the horizon, I'm put it in all the theaters, every screen showing this, and you could do stuff like that.
I see this is a testament to the fact that I probably have at least minor OCD, because I have a daily ritual. I go on Box Office Mojo, I check the daily things, and then I usually pick certain movies that I care about. I'll have 5 or 6 that I follow at a time, and then I'll check and see. I'll go on their overall rankings and then their worldwide rankings, and I'll make predictions based on that, what movies they'll pass up by the end of the week. And I do it daily, every single day.
How did I not get you in on this when I was doing it?
I don't know. I don't even think I heard about it.
Because for a while they had a box office game, and there were leagues, and you would make your predictions each week. And I remember because I remember looking at last week's and trying to figure out which percentage everything was going to drop off, and sometimes getting it it got to the point where I got really good. And then I'm I could be one of those newspaper, because I remember listening on the radio, because Mr. Movie Phone would give his box office predictions, but they were doing the way they were figuring it, and they were really accurate. And you want to know how they figured it out? Because this was back when everybody was using Movie Phone. They just based it off of what movies were getting the most people calling the showtimes for. But it ended up being really accurate.
That makes sense.
But nobody uses
Movie Phone.
Remember, dude. That's definitely a product. If you want to press 1.
In college, we called Movie
all
Phone.
The time.
All the time.
Well, I remember. I don't know if you ever did this, but I remember when Movie Phone, you could buy a movie ticket off of there. When they let you for tickets, and I remember I remember it so well. Because I met up with friends to see The Matrix, and then it was over by Tower in La Jolla, and I was about to go home, and I'm I don't want to go home. I want to watch another movie. It was Spring Break '99, because then I remember that Spring Break, we all came back. We were Matrix. But yeah. So I'm I don't want to go home. I want to watch another movie. And I remember I was in the drive-thru for Jack in the Box. I'm I'm called to see what the phone is. And they're if you want to buy a ticket to this movie, press 2. And I'm buy a ticket? And then enter your card. And I remember punching in my card number on the phone and buying a movie ticket. And it was crazy.
And now you can do it.
Now it's but at the time, through a phone, a touch tone phone system in 1999 to now, I'm just
yeah.
You
can do it all. It's amazing.
Watch them. You can watch
it on your movie.
Watch it on your movie.
Watch it on your movie.
Watch your phone on your movie.
Your phone on your movie.
Is it that time?
It's the time when I don't make sentences anymore.
All right. So that's book talk.
That's books.
New movies, no new movies.
No new movies.
WWE Network.
What you got?
As of right now, I think my great battle with tech support has been resolved. It seems like I've watched several. I haven't watched them all, but I started going through some old Raws, and it's starting to work again. They added a bunch of old Nitros, including the one that I went to. It's hard. Because I've been making my way through, but it's not until October of '97. I'm on January. I think I'm gonna skip just to watch that one.
Can you see you?
I think so.
Where were you sitting?
We were pretty close up. So I gotta go in there and look, because if I do, I will put the pictures. I'll get screenshots. I'll post them.
There?
Mike didn't come, but it was me and my friend Brent, a bunch of my friends from high school, Like there was like 8 of us. We had signs. Like so that's where I think we might. I remember we actually made a sign that Hogan fears Mason, like Mike Mason, like because this was the height of like the NWO, like Hulk Hogan. Because I remember being super pumped because it was like we saw Macho Man Randy Savage, we saw Hulk Hogan, saw Ric Flair. That was the first time I'd ever seen Ric Flair in person, and it was exciting. Like Sting was coming down from the rafters back then, like it was crazy, and that was the only WCW show I ever went to. So I think I might just watch that one and then go back to my. Because I watched them all, the ones that were up there, and now there's a whole. Now it goes all the way through 1998. So I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Go through well, I'm still on 1993 Raw also, and again,
that would be fun to get you in there.
I should definitely look because I'm pretty sure. Because I remember friends said they could see us. that's 17-year-old Brendo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I definitely gotta find that.
You gotta post pics.
All right. And then I finished Fargo today.
Yeah.
Holy crap, this show is so good. It's on the violent side, like super. It's very violent. I think you can handle it.
All right.
Don't let
maybe not Janelle.
No.
Like Daredevil.
Like a little bit more than Daredevil.
All right. All right.
Like I'm talking about like headshots.
All right.
It's like a Coen Brothers. Think of like No Country.
Right.
Like lots of murders happening.
Okay.
Very brutal. There is a really, really, really gross, like broken leg, gross scene. I had to look away. It's disgusting.
Janelle still hasn't watched No Country.
A character gets a bear trap stuck on their leg, and like then there's like a compound fracture going on, and just blood spurting everywhere. It's really disgusting.
Okay.
I was about to text you this, but I'll just tell you now. But Key and Peele are in it.
Really?
They play FBI agents. They're partners. Totally like.
Are they serious? Like
they're serious, but they're also Key and Peele.
That's awesome.
I don't know how to describe it. It's very amazing.
That's super cool.
Because at first I'm like, what? Like what? And yeah, they're FBI agents.
They're good actors.
They're really great. The whole show is so good. And then it gets to a certain point and it skips ahead a year, which is nuts. And Martin Freeman, I'm pretty sure he won an Emmy, and if he didn't, that's a crime because like he's amazing. Everybody in it is so good. Colin Hanks he's good in a lot of stuff, but he's just on a whole other level in this. Everybody is. It's amazing. And I feel like the next season is going to be a completely different story. Like it's going to be like an anthology kind of like an American Horror Story type thing where each season is like a different story.
Interesting.
And it's amazing. It's so amazing. Like it's so good. I loved it. I already want to watch it again.
Well,
Billy Bob Thornton is like legitimately like it's the most like he's done a lot of crazy like think about like all this like Simple Plan and like all it's the scariest thing. He's terrifying.
Sling Blade, I love Sling Blade. I know it's different, but still,
dude. Like he just the way he like becomes this whole different like the way he becomes a role. It's amazing.
He was not amazing, however, in that one with John Heater.
Oh
gosh, that movie was a
School for Scoundrels.
Oh gosh,
just saying the title.
That movie was horrible.
It was horrible.
I had a lot of hopes for that movie.
Well, they had so many. I mean, it was Billy Bob Thornton. It was what's her face, Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, and then John Heater, like off of like Napoleon Dynamite heat.
That was where I was like, let's like you can kind of predict his future now.
That exactly. Oh man, that was bad.
It was so bad.
So bad. John Heater did the ice skating one.
Blaze of Glory.
Blaze of Glory
was fantastic.
That was really good. But
every time I hear like the Flash Gordon, Flash. Oh, dude, so good. But every other Benchwarmers.
Benchwarmers is okay, but that was like on the descent. You know,
he's done a lot of bad.
Yeah,
so much bad.
I like John Lovitz in the Benchwarmers. I'll watch anything with John Lovitz.
Well. Wasn't there that other? What was that? Was he in that movie where Johnny Knoxville like pretends to be like handicapped? I feel like he was in that.
He might have been. I watched that.
That was The Ringer.
Yeah, The Ringer. It was really weird because you could tell like they were trying to be all edgy and stuff, but then they even they couldn't cross the line.
Yeah, I think at some point they realized they're like, if we do this, like we're gonna get killed.
And it was this really weird mix of like kind of sappy but also like inappropriate, and it was just
because there was like a love story, like
yeah, but then weird. Like he liked her, but he was pretending to be like retarded, and so then she didn't like no, and then she was it was one of those like, oh, I'm mad at you, but then when she found out the truth, she still really loved him, and it was just awkward and weird. Although there was funny moments, but it's a hard one to watch. I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, Fargo, it's very Coen Brothers, and it captures that because it's the idea where like because you're like, I would never do those things in that situation, but it kind of captures perfectly when you're in that situation. You're kind of like you're not thinking
right,
like you don't, because you're in the heat of like making all these crazy decisions, and they lead because you're watching these people do these things, like it's so frustrating, but you're like, if you're in that kind of crazy situation, like this thing with that, and like there are parts, and there's parts of it that remind me of Burn After Reading, but most of it's like it's very Fargo, very even like Blood Simple, like this very Coen Brothers.
I love the Coen Brothers, as you know.
It's really, and the music is incredible. It's so good. It's so good. You have to watch it. You have to.
You know what's not good? The people they chose on Last Comic Standing to move on to the finals.
Yeah.
This season is frustrating because they had some really funny people, and the judges are picking the worst. Norm Macdonald's got like good taste. I appreciate his taste, but he's been outvoted by the other two judges every time.
Who are the other two?
It's Roseanne Barr
and
Keenan Wayans. And their taste, like
was he ever? Well, I guess he start off the stand up.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it was like, did he even do stand up?
But like, you just would have to see it. But they did like this head-to-head thing where 2-1 performed, and then there's no voting. It's just the three of them deciding. And like we're totally cracking up at one, and the other one is just stupid. And they're like, "Oh, that was great." And we're like, "Did you even watch the same set as we did?" And part of the problem is, and I think they did it for budget reasons, they stripped out all the reality show aspects of it. There's no more challenges, like nothing. They've kind of slowly been chipping away at that, but there's nothing. It's just 4 different evenings of stand-up is basically what it boils down to now, which is great, and that's fun, but it kind of loses a lot of its luster. And now they've picked, there's only like 2 people in the finale for next week that we even care about at all.
That's too bad.
And I guarantee they're going to pick one we don't like. So, but it's still, it's Last Comic Standing. I got to support it. I'll watch it, and maybe they'll make it better next season.
If they get it next season.
If they do.
Netflix, I didn't watch any Netflix this week because I was just watching Fargo.
I just been watching through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, where you got now?
I just watched the second Lady Sif episode in season 2. Yeah. It's super
she
good.
Like has amnesia?
Yeah. Well, no, I think I watched one past that. I'm trying to think. Well, because there's Sky's starting to realize like her earthquake powers and stuff. So I think maybe like I watched one past that. But it's super good. Really, really, I can't believe that it took me this long to watch it. And now I'm going to be caught up so I can watch current ones.
Okay, so how much did you freak out when, like, now that we're at a point where we can talk about this, when Fury came down in the helicopter to save Fitz and Simmons? Like, was that like...
That was amazing.
The greatest thing of all time.
I knew he was going to come back at some point, but when it actually happened, you're like, yes. Amazing. And he's wearing the same like outfit that he was at the the knit cap and whatever at the end of Winter Soldier. So that was perfect. Yeah, it just the way it all ties together, and it's just amazing. And and I can't wait to see. And like, is Daredevil gonna start popping up and stuff? Like,
who knows?
Because Agent Carter, has been great, like having her throughout a lot of it, and like the flashback stuff. It's just amazing.
It was cool. That was probably my favorite parts of Ant-Man, was seeing like late 80s Agent Carter and late 80s Howard Stark.
Yeah. That was really cool.
I still don't know which Stark is which Howard Stark is my favorite. Like young Howard Stark is great because I like that guy.
Yeah.
But I also like John Slattery, who plays older Howard Stark.
Right.
Which I still love that they're keeping on to that, even though I think because they don't look anything else.
No, but it's fine.
It's still fine.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. But
Haley Atwell is just through all of
still
it.
Through all, even old Agent Carter is her.
She's been in
she's been in everything since Captain America.
Has she been in more Marvel stuff than anyone?
I don't know. She's been in a lot of stuff. Well, I mean, no, Nick Fury. Nick Fury's been everything.
Yeah, but if you went by counting episodes of stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I bet she has.
It's been a lot.
I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty cool. So great. I've been having fun with that.
She's awesome. Chloe Bennett's gonna be at
Long Beach.
Long Beach.
You can get the Chloe Bennett package.
Yeah, it's $199. Yeah. So you got two MCU people because Ralph Garman's gonna be there, and he is an Agent Carter.
Oh, that's right. On the radio show.
He did say because Agent Carter. I don't know if you know this, but she's gonna be in LA in the next season.
Oh no, I didn't know.
Because I think she's chasing after. Because they were headed. They kind of imply that they're headed out west.
Okay.
And I think she's going to chase after them. So they said most of next season takes place in Los Angeles. Huh. So he's like, and he even said on Kevin to me, he's like, they were like, is radio announcer guy? He's like, I don't know yet. No word yet on radio announcer guy's return. He was in 2 episodes.
Yeah. Insignificant scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was only 2 episodes?
It was 2, I think. Maybe 3.
I feel like maybe there was 3 episodes.
Maybe 3. Or they used the radio thing. Yeah. But he's great. So I hope he is. We can ask him at Long Beach Comic Con.
That's true.
And that's Netflix. No Netflix this week because Fargo.
Well, and again, it's been only 4 days, so
4 days of watching Fargo, and some wrestling.
Nice.
And playing video games.
We pretty much talked about
Shuffle
a lot.
Street Pass. Been Street Pass a little bit. Clicker Heroes. I'm farthest I've ever been. I'm making a deep dive.
Nice. And
then Nitro Type.
Still doing that?
I'm definitely.
Nice.
All the time. I like it. I actually paid $6 so I could get an upgraded account.
Ooh. Because you're serious about
it. I've been playing it so much, and there was a sale, and you got $2 million, and it's and you get the upgrade for life. It's it's not a monthly thing. It's just so I paid $6 and I get the member status, and you get extra money every race. You get a unique car.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm a real nerd about this. But if you want to play, nitrotype.com, you can add me as a friend. I'm BrendoMan. Because if you get to level 50, you can start your own team.
Oh.
I'm only level 20, so I think it's gonna be a while, but I will totally start a Radio BrendoMan team.
That'd be cool.
That'd be freaking awesome. I want to start a Clicker Heroes guild, but you have to have 50 gems, and I keep spending them. So,
well, Luke and I, and Audrey have been playing through Lego Jurassic World. We are finished with Jurassic Park 2, Lost World.
Yeah.
And we're about to do 3, and I've never seen 3, which is weird because every Lego game I've ever played, I've seen all the movies.
You want to see? I'll tell you about 3.
I mean, I know there's pteranodons.
There's pterodactyls, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But the movie itself is garbage.
That's pretty much what I've heard. And isn't
Tia Leone screams a lot. William H. Macy's in it, and he's great, but he does not enough to save what is a terrible, terrible movie. I mean, the dinosaur is called Megasaurus. That's the best they could come up. I think it's Megasaurus. I don't know. It's something stupid. It's something dumb.
It'll still be fun to play through as a Lego.
And it's just a giant dinosaur. And then, 3 is the one where it is beyond obvious that they made this movie, and they're like, this is terrible. What can we do? They didn't have an ending. So they're like, well, let's throw some money at Laura Dern because she's only in the beginning and at the end.
Right.
It's complete. It's the most tacked on scenes you've ever seen in your life. And then at the end, they have a total tacked on ending where, for just unexplainable, Laura Dern just shows up with the military at the end, and that's the end of the movie. Can you freaking imagine?
How much money did they have to throw at her to do that?
Well, also it's so stupid because I remember we got 3/4. That summer was the worst. I remember my brother's summer of 2001. We're in Wisconsin, and my brother and I, it was just bad movie after bad movie after bad movie. It was Oh, so much crap. Well, Fast and Furious was like one of the like sleeper hits, but I mean at the time I was like, bleh.
Yeah,
like the first one's not that great.
Whatever.
But it was it was like Scary Movie 2, American Pie 2, just all these bad sequels. There was I forgot what other crap. There was a lot of crap. I mean,
it's pretty bad.
Tim Burton, Planet of the Apes.
I like Planet of the Apes.
That was our like what we thought was gonna save the summer. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I hated so much.
Wasn't that the summer too that Legally Blonde came out?
Yes, and that was our favorite movie because we ended up seeing that on a whim because we were driving to this. It was that festival, the Carmen that I told you about. It was Carmen. It was all kinds of bands, but I remember we saw like Mortification, but then as a joke we did like an endurance contest to see how long we could handle Carmen's set, and we made it through half a song before he started rapping, and my brother's like, I have to leave. But so I remember I think we either got bored during the festival or we got there and no bands had started yet, so we found a movie theater nearby and we're like, let's see Legally Blonde, and we're like, that was amazing. It was great. Yeah. It was really good, but there was I just remember.
Also, Kung Pao came out that summer.
That was later because school had started.
Okay.
But it was like in September because I saw that like at least 3 times. I saw it like 3 times. So I remember I think I saw it by myself. Then I took Brian. Then I took Henry and Eric. Like I ended up taking like multiple groups of people just so because I just remember going around doing that wee wee like all the time, and nobody knew what it was. But I thought it was it's so dumb. But I still quote that movie like so. I do the Taco Bell song like a lot. Taco Bell, and chorrito, macho burrito, like this dumb crap.
Did you hear he's talking about making a sequel to it?
Yes. Yes.
Dude.
I'm there.
I mean, come on.
I'm there.
It's so dumb, but you have to love it. I remember just being like, what?
You now have black clothes.
And we went with Jeff. It was fun.
I am a great magician. You now have black clothes.
And Jeff was like telling us like behind the scenes stories because he helped work on it. And he said like basically they're like, okay, we need you to build this and it needs to look like a, monastery from the 1800s. Go. And they're like, well, okay, like, what do we do? Like, they're just like right out of film school, and I don't know, had to like run around LA and buy weird junk. And he's not even credited for an IMDb.
That to me seems like bull crap.
Well, he could probably go in and fix it, but
is he credited in the credits?
I don't remember.
Wow.
He might be. I think he was.
But maybe a special thanks.
Something like that. But he does have a couple now. So and Josh Forbes has one.
Yeah.
So man, you gotta get him IMDb page.
Dude, Josh directed a movie. Jeff produced a movie.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. You can watch it. I don't have anything like that.
You could play your video game online that you made.
I already forgot what the site is.
It's in the chat.
Game
somewhere.
Jolt.
Yeah, there you go.
Game Jolt. Game Jolt. I gotta remember that.
Game Jolt.
It's gonna do it. It's gonna be my.
That's your ticket in.
Ticket in.
Ticket to glory.
What if my IMDb page does end up being a bunch of like wrestling shows, like dude in? I don't think they get credits.
Probably not. But like extra on something,
they don't get credits either.
Sure.
That's the whole point.
Well, they might not get credits, but it says uncredited at the bottom.
That's only if you put it in.
Right, so you got to put it. That's what I'm saying. You put it in. I'm not saying they're going to do it for you.
Episode
yes, X-Files. Yeah, uncredited.
Roseanne show.
Yeah, uncredited. See, I don't know, though. An audience member might not. I don't think that counts. But extra on X-Files or Man in the Moon or whatever, like that counts.
Man in the Moon.
Yeah.
Extra
uncredited.
Yeah. Crowd member.
Yeah.
Uncredited.
There you go. So you got like 3 credits right there. That's IMDb worthy.
We were in something else. Well, my brother was in Milk.
Oh yeah, you remember talking about that. This is good.
It's good stuff.
Then I'll get Deadline on there. All my Biola films.
Doesn't Deadline have an IMDb?
No, but some of them do. Yeah.
Anything that Jamie Alexander is, because I think he made pages for all of them, so he could have
on TV.
That show was really stupid. That game show.
Well, it's funny, like, because the concept was.
Didn't you go watch them like make it or something?
Well, we actually like shot like a pilot. I forgot about that. I was like on a pilot for TBN.
Yeah.
Because it was like they were doing this whole like after hours trying to be like cool and hip and hit the young crowd. And so it was like me and Jen Kendall and Lindsay, and I forget who else, a few other people. And we shot this pilot in this guy's like apartment basically. But it was all us. We were talking about a controversial subject. I can't even remember what it was now. Like, you know, it was just like a round table discussion, and you know, they would throw out like, what about this issue? And we would just talk about it. And I don't know.
I want to see that. I want to see Phil talking about like abortion.
It was never aired, but that's out there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I remember, wasn't his game show? It was like, there was like, I just remember there was like a phone involved or something, like a giant pad. Or there was like, wasn't there like a tic-tac-toe show? It was like a tic-tac-toe.
Well, he did a couple things.
Didn't he do something for PAX? The PAX channel. Maybe. Do you remember that channel? That was dumb. That channel was
one that I know he did was like a music video trivia game.
Okay.
Where it would show, it was like teenagers, and it would show a clip of a music video, except they're all like Christian music videos. And then like the first person to buzz in and say the name of the artist and the song would get a point.
Yeah.
And that might have just been like one round of it, but that was like the part I remember. And the funny part is like, think about the kids who they got to be on like a daytime TBN show. It's all like these homeschooled like church kids. So like they don't know any of them. And like one of them pops up and it's like Jesus Freak from DC Talk, which like if you went to youth group, you knew that song. And none of them
was on the radio.
None of them got it. And they're like, oh, that was Jesus Freak. And then like Jars of Clay Flood. Like they were going like mainstream stuff. And the kids were like, oh. I mean, again, these are like totally like, you know, overprotected homeschool kids, never saw the light of day, and they're on this TV show, and it was so painful. It was so bad. But Jamie was entertaining.
Yeah.
So, you know, had that trade-off. But somewhere I'm in a pilot for him. I forgot about that. Kind of blocked it out, I guess. If someone could find that, like, that would be pretty amazing.
He probably has it.
Probably has it.
Are you his Facebook friend?
Yeah.
You should probably ask him.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that?
I would totally upload that to YouTube.
Oh my gosh. What did we say? I don't know. I'd want preview rights first though, because I don't remember what we talked about, and I don't know what 20-year-old Phil said about it at the time. But I think I would want to make sure.
Phil Vecchio on race relations.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I want to believe I didn't say anything I'd be ashamed of, but I know how I was in high school and stuff. You know, I've matured.
All right.
I've learned things.
It's good. You matured.
Well, should we read some Duke and move on?
I guess.
All
doing
right.
the Duke.
We're doing the Duke.
Dropping the
Duke. Duke right now. All right. Here we go. Marmaduke. All right. This is a Halloween. We've been talking about Halloween a lot tonight. This is a special Halloween.
It is September.
I know. It's getting there. All right.
Not Scary Farm opens like next week.
It's almost time.
Super excited.
This is an appropriate
Halloween Horror Nights coming up. I've been seeing the commercials on Hulu.
For
the same commercials over and over again.
All right. So we're in an older couple's house, and the guy has like scary mask. He says, "Arr!" And the wife says, "Here come the children for trick or treat." And she turns around and sees his mask and says, "Oh, Luther, take that silly mask off." So he does, and he looks all sad. And she says, "And don't try anything cute with those little goblins." Then all the kids come up in classic Halloween costumes, trick or treat, and they're smiling. And then the guy says, "Show me a trick." And then right off the scene, he pulls out the leash, and Marmaduke's got a scary mask on. And then it shows the guy inside all scared, and he says, "Serves you right." Oh, no, the wife says that. "Serves you right." Because the dog scared him. Because Marmaduke scared him. Because he's a person. Marmaduke's a person.
That's stupid. So the kids dressed up Marmaduke?
The kids dressed up Marmaduke.
Why would an adult ask for a trick?
I don't know.
Doesn't he know that means they're going to, like, roll your house?
Yeah.
Shaving cream?
Or moon them at least.
Like, that's what they're saying.
Show me a trick.
They're basically like, give us candy, we're going to trash your house.
Right.
You don't dare
Halloween
the kids.
is just threatening the people. Give me candy or I will do something to your house. You don't say do something to me.
And by the time we got to junior high, we totally did.
But here's the thing. It's just a dog. It's a dog in a mask. And then she says, serves you right. That's the punchline.
I remember the only time I ever egged any house was because they didn't give us candy. I egged a house.
I've never done that. I did toilet paper.
Yeah, I threw eggs.
That's bad.
They didn't give us candy.
You're just like Lindsay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I never egged a person. I threw eggs at a dude's door because he's like, I don't have any candy. You guys need to get out of here. And I was like, oh, it's on now. It is on.
That was dumb of him. I will give you that. All right, you got to hear one more. This next one is much more like in the Marmaduke. This is another Marmaduke as a person one. Ready?
They're all dumb.
But it's a Doctor Who one.
What?
Ooh. All right, the kid's showing off Marmaduke stuff to his friend. This is Marmaduke's living room. Marmaduke's sitting on the couch. This is his bone collection, a bunch of framed bones.
So Marmaduke has a room in the house?
Well, just wait. And here's Marmaduke's dining room. He does a lot of entertaining. There's like a table with a bunch of dogs around it. He loves his water mattress. Marmaduke's laying on his bed. Wow, this is too much. But what's really amazing is, and they climb outside, and it's a little doghouse. It looks so much smaller from the outside. It's like the TARDIS. Marmaduke is the Doctor.
What?
He's a dog.
I feel like they ripped that off of Snoopy. Because remember Snoopy sometimes would like have all the stuff.
Yeah. Well,
so he's just borrowing from everywhere. Blondie, Dagwood,
whatever he can
Snoopy.
get.
But that's weird that they actually had like that's very interesting.
Yeah.
That took a turn.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't fall into our 3 categories of Marmaduke.
Because it is a little bit, he's like a person.
That's, kind of.
But most of them are very much set in like quote unquote reality.
Like,
they're not like.
Marmaduke has a waterbed.
Yeah.
In a house.
And he entertains people around his table.
In his doghouse.
And he frames his bones.
Now they're trying to be Snoopy.
Yeah.
That's very Snoopy.
Yeah. Except like not funny at all.
No.
Yeah.
Because I remember like Snoopy like go down into his doghouse, and that was kind of a running gag that his doghouse is huge.
And you see like tools flying
piano,
out looking for something.
All kinds of things.
Not to mention he could fly it.
So this guy's a total ripoff artist is what we're learning here.
That's what we're looking at.
Because we just figured out that the mom and dad are like palette swaps of Blondie and Dagwood.
I guarantee you at some point we're going to find one where it's just Marmaduke following a path and this little dotted line to show where he went through the neighborhood and messed stuff up.
Oh, I guarantee you that's what that... Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The only reason anyone ever read Family Circus was for those strips.
That and Ghost Dad, or Ghost Grandpa.
Ghost Grandpa?
You don't know about Ghost Grandpa on Family Circus?
Yes.
The grandpa, the ghost grandpa was totally a recurring character. And the kids could talk to him, but the parents couldn't.
Really?
Oh, dude.
Well, again, I believe you.
Hold on.
I'm just saying I completely ignored Family Circus, unless it was one of the dot ones. I can't believe this. Just do like images so I can see it. I bet it'll pop up if this is a real thing.
Well, this.
There's your little.
No, dude, Ghost Grandpa.
Oh, that there? I don't know. Sure, this wasn't just like a fever dream?
No.
You were wishing this was true?
Everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? Ghost Grandpa.
It was Family Circus.
I'm going to freaking find some Ghost Grandpa here. Hold on.
Because I thought Family Circus entirely consisted of...
No, there's ones where like the grandpa is dead and like they see him as a ghost. Now of course I can't find it. Where's Steve Espinoza when I need him?
No one's here to help you.
I'm going to find it and I'm just going to send them all to you.
All right, post it in a group. Right now, I'm not seeing a lot of evidence. I didn't know. I know that's like the little white, like kind of looks like that there, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not a ghost.
No, there's one with like Ghost Grandpa.
All right, because that's what they blame, like their, if they do something wrong, they blame it, I don't know, and that's like the embodiment of it's like their scapegoat. That's not Ghost Grandpa.
No, there is totally Ghost Grandpa.
All right.
There's a ghost.
All right, find it for me. Find this ghost grandpa.
Ah, it's gonna bother me because I know there's ghost grandpa. I'll find it and I'll put it in the group. I'll put a bunch of them.
All right.
There is some weird crap in here.
Because all I know of Family Circus is they got the dotted line ones, and then the rest of them.
I've about the time I met Bill Keane.
Huh.
He was at some, because he was like super religious. He was at some church thing that I went to. He was a nice dude. Nice guy.
Well, he did the dotted line things. Those are always fun. But other than that, it's just like a, mommy, you're the best mommy, and it's so special to be a child of yours. That's like the joke. The whole thing. All right. Well,
yeah. Bill's father is dead, but occasionally it's yeah. It's in the Wikipedia article. Extended family. Bill's father, as a spirit, plays a prominent role in the TV special. Okay. But Bill's mother appears regularly in the strip and apparently lives. Bill's father is dead, but occasionally appears in the strip as a spirit. Ha!
Or watching up from heaven.
Ha!
All right.
Ghost Grandpa.
Spirit. See, you should have put Spirit
Grandpa. He died before Jeffy was born.
You should have put Spirit Grandpa. That would have shown up.
Spirit Grandpa.
All right, I'll give you Spirit Grandpa.
Dotted lines, gremlins, grown children, family car. When we run out of Marmadukes,
Family Ties.
I feel like people will stop listening if it's like
Marmaduke. We're already pushing our luck here. This is really Marmaduke is sort of just by reading it. It's an extension of what the after hours I used to do.
Oh, the early strip was kind of racy, and it looked different. And we each had a bottle of soda. Daddy brought his own in his pocket.
Whoa.
Oh, he was drinking at the football game.
Wow.
And it's a totally different dad.
Like an old guy smoking a cigarette.
That's funny.
Clean that up a little bit.
Definitely clean that up. It's still going. He's still going.
Wow. Well,
now it's
Jeff Keane.
Yeah, Bill Keane. But yeah, I met him.
Huh.
Aloysius. That's an old-timey middle name if there ever was one.
Yeah, it is.
Now we're just reading Wikipedia about Family Circus.
All right, let's do it.
Wait, hold on. Just real quick. Family Circus, Spirit, Grandpa.
All right, let's see the Spirit Grandpa. See, this just proves that you paid way more attention. Oh, see, he's up in heaven there.
There's one, he's up in heaven. I swear there's one where it's like his outline.
All right.
There's a lot. There's various ones where I'm telling you, Spirit Grandpa, totally real thing. Some of these look like Chick tracks.
Well, it's very possible he did stuff like that.
Billy's going to hell because he stole something.
All right, are we satisfied now?
Speaking of Bloom County, did you see what Berkeley breathed sent Lynch?
No.
So Lynch ordered a lithograph, and then in the bottom, without any prompting from Lynch, Lynch didn't even know if he knew who he was.
Right.
He drew what's the penguin name?
Which penguin? Oh,
in Bloom County. Well, whatever.
Oh, geez, I don't know. Yeah.
He drew him with a minion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
He has an original drawing of
nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So I thought that was pretty neat. But I'm telling you, Spirit Grandpa.
All right, Spirit Grandpa.
Wikipedia says so.
It must be true.
And I know it because I remember from the show, but I know there was a bunch of comics. There's one. And Jeffy's waving at him, and he's waving. I wish Granddad could have been at the reunion too, and he Spirit Grandpa was. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Also, that's an entire strip there.
That's a strip. That's it.
Ghosts.
And I remember there was a whole thing where like Jeffy, like the little ones can totally see him. Like Ghost Grandpa. Oh, see, there's another ghost. I wish Granddad was. All of them are. I wish he's still alive. And then he's clapping for Dolly, and lots of Well, now this is coconuts.
I wish Grandpa could have been there for that dinner we just ate.
What the heck is coconuts?
I don't know. But now you're just like clicking through images on Google search.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Well, if you want to keep up with us, you should go to
remember these? Love is. These are like the worst.
Those are from like the 70s.
Yeah. Oh, wow. All right.
RadioBrendo.com for all of your Radio Brendo needs.
Yeah.
Also go to our group.
BendyNetwork.com. And check out all that stuff.
Posting.
Check out, once again, on Game Jolt, Monos, Hands of Fate, Path of Brother Lou, featuring the voice of me.
Featuring you.
I don't remember. I think I'm like, this path is dark and dangerous.
We'll know it was you, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Because I recorded it all on like my computer and then sent it to him.
That's cool. I remember like you telling me about this.
Yeah.
Like back when you did this.
And the game is pretty fun. I mean, if you like Monos, you've got to play this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was a while ago. This was like 2009. Yeah.
Also, you should let us know if you're going to be at Long Beach Comic Con. I know we have some people from Ukaipa going, so that's exciting.
And Sunday, 11:30.
Sunday, 11:30.
Next Sunday.
Yeah.
And we'll have stickers.
Yes, we will.
And we'll have candy.
If you want candy, I mean, you don't even have to listen to it. Just come get candy.
But you gotta.
We have to hang out. I mean, you know.
And you gotta. We'll give you some candy if you sing. I want candy. You sing. I want candy. If you get up.
Yeah. I will also accept scatting. Shoot out, give me some candy.
Shoot it up down to the candy bop.
Labadoo dat doo.
Subadoo.
Shabadoo.
All right. Enough of that.
All right. 184? 184?
184. What are we going to call this? Scatterly bat.
Schooly bat doot that.
How is that?
Scat attack.
Scat attack. That's going to sound like. That sounds like poop.
Dirty. Let's I don't know. Maybe that'll get us some hits. Scatting with the oldies.
Scatting with Ghost Grandpa.
Ghost Grandpa Scat. Somewhere in there. I think you'll find it. The ghost of Grandpa Scat.
Okay, that's pretty stupid, but sure.
I don't know. Somewhere in there.
I couldn't come up with anything last week, so I'm like wrestling with the heat. All right.
Yeah, it's hot, and we talked about wrestling. Well,
good.
This one we talked about scatting and Ghost
Grandpa.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
If I was a kid and I saw the ghost of my grandpa, I'd lose my freaking mind. I think I remember somebody. Okay, so I think there's some website where they dissect some of these, and they actually were positing a theory that like Jeffy is crazy, and he sees the little character, he sees the dead grandpa,
he wanders all around all over the place.
Yeah,
I can see that.
And like they really presented that case hard, like that, or like Jeffy is like a sociopath, like. But great. Yeah, Ghost Grandpa.
Ghost Grandpa.
Because if I saw Ghost Grandpa, like, holy crap.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks for supporting the show. Make sure you vote in the upcoming final selection for the Kickstarter project.
If you were a backer. If you didn't, you miss out. You miss out on all this, though.
Oh.
So be sure next time you better get on that.
That's true.
Because we're going to be talking about it and you're going to be missing out.
That's right. But if you did do it, get on it because this is your chance. If you don't vote, your voice won't be heard.
I don't want to watch this scary movie.
Well, I don't know. People might vote it. If we do, you have to do it.
We got to be sitting here with our headphones on. Because we got to have headphones. Like, right. That makes it more scary.
Yeah. Because what if it like whispers in your ear?
Because I can't. The thing with headphones is like you can't. I'm gonna be that guy pulling them off. Yeah,
well, because you do your like ear thing where you're like That was
during
like the
Fargo. There was a couple scenes where I was really freaked out. So and Hulu doesn't really. It's really difficult to fast forward.
Right.
So I just would slow I'd hit start stop. I'm like because it was very tense. Not scary, but just very intense and like, like somebody's either gonna get caught or somebody's gonna get killed or something. You're like,
can't take it.
The scenes that are the most agonizing are where somebody's sneaking somewhere and they make it seem like they're about to get like discovered.
Right.
I don't know why. I cannot deal with that. I don't know. Like and then anything where somebody gets caught stealing something. Like
that's for you. That's
for me. Like I can't. Maybe because as a kid I had like some shoplifting incidents, and then when I was in high school I did get caught shoplifting once. I've told this story. I got caught shoplifting a phone cable for my modem.
That's
and the guy was like so embarrassed for me that he's basically like, why don't you just pay for this and just get out of here? Because he's like, I don't want to make
poor kid. Not even like a candy bar or something.
Like a phone line. It was it was a super long phone cord because otherwise that's how I plugged in my modem. And
I think it also could stem from your dislike of stealth video games.
I hate stealth video
See, there you go. It's all tied together.
I don't know. I think that tension, I don't know. Well, there's some deeper things that I think some of it has to do with, as I discussed with one of my friends, just any kid that had a parent that you did not want to wake up for certain reasons, you learn the art of being quiet, and then that danger of like not upsetting anything because that would like all hell will break loose. And so like that fear is very deeply instilled in me. And I think that's where it really comes down to. And just that idea of just being caught, like just that whole being caught.
So let me ask you this. Did you play Don't Wake Daddy as a kid?
No, heck no.
How messed up is that game?
It's pretty messed up.
For those that don't know, it's the whole thing of like the dad is drunk and you like can't wake him up, and if you do, he wakes up and like yells at you or something. Like sits
up. Is he
up.
Drunk?
Well, I think doesn't he have a bottle with him? Maybe I'm thinking of the Mad Magazine spoof.
I think you're thinking of the spoof because I think it's just a dude in bed with a nightcap.
Maybe I am.
And you're trying to sneak cookies
because I think there's a Mad Magazine article where it is where he's like an alcoholic. Yeah. Okay, I'm mixing up Mad Magazine with reality right now. But concept is there.
But I mean, that was my thing. Is like I had like alcoholic mom, and like you did not, because like that was like you could, like that's like where like I could, we learned to like because like on Saturday morning, like you did not want to wake up.
That's why they invented cartoons on Saturday morning.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look up "Don't Wake Daddy" from Mad Magazine while we close this out here.
But yeah, so I think that's what it goes at. That and like being caught shoplifting and like just the feeling and being caught period is always just like but yeah, there's a lot of scary tension there. And so there's some scenes where people are sneaking into people's houses or like things like that, and I'm just like very uncomfortable. Like I can't watch the shoplifting episode of The Simpsons where Bart steals the video game just because I just can't. I don't know. It's too much. It's too real. Just that tension. And then the disappointment that Marge has when she finds out is like, oh my God, it kills me. And I'm like, this is a comedy cartoon. And I'm like, just like, oh, and that has some of the best jokes because that's the Bone Storm game. That's like, it's just making fun of Mortal Kombat and like, buy the game or die. Just like those ridiculous commercials.
Right.
And then when he's being tempted to like steal the game, like Sonic is floating around, he's like, take it, like doing the Sega thing. And then there's when Milhouse enters his initials, but it cuts it off so it's Thrill, because he's like, I'm gonna enter my name, Thrill House, and then it's Thrill Ho. Like just so many great jokes. But I can't make it through that episode now. Like I watched it the one time, and now I'm like,
too stressful.
Just shoplifting, don't do it. It'll mess you up, like it messed me up.
Just pay for it. It's for your health. Don't shoplift, dummy.
There was a period in 9th grade where I stole caramellos.
Really?
Because my mom wouldn't let me have them.
Wow. So let your kids have candy too. That's the other lesson.
No, don't let your fat kids steal candy. I used to like ditch football practice and then go to the Save On and like stuff a caramello in my pants.
Okay. If they caught you, you could just say that you were taking a Duke.
Well, I remember one time I was in the candy aisle and over the last we were like security aisle thing. I'm like, oh crap. So I'm just kind of like, and I think they were on to me. And then I kind of sauntered out of there, and then I never did that again.
Well, it's good. You could have headed down a path with a life of crime, and instead you're here.
Criminal Brendo seems very scary.
Yeah. What would an evil Brendo be like?
Probably really scary.
Yeah. You'd be like Kingpin.
I don't think
if someone just ticked you off, you would just beat their head in
with a car door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to mess with Criminal Brendo.
I could see that though, because he like turns on a dime.
Then also just watching Fargo, I'm like, yeah, I could be like maybe not like a main because you say Kingpin, like I don't know if I could deal with that, but like maybe I could. Like maybe Criminal Brendo finds a way to harness. Maybe that's what turned him into a criminal, but like I could easily be like henchman, because just the tough guy, strong boy, just coming. Like also just some of the ways like when Billy Bob Thornton, when he just really goes and he just comes in blazing like yeah, I could see like on a tear, just really, just like and like that would instill. But then also the other thing is like Criminal Brendo would probably die some horrific, like quick death.
Right.
Like I'd just tick off the wrong dude and get my. I'd be like, here's what Criminal Brendo would have like this brief lucrative career is like either a muscle or like a hitman, but then end up like the guy in Dick Tracy that gets blown up in his car just because he ticks off the wrong guy. And it's not even like he dies in this blaze of glory. Like I would just start my car one day and it would blow up.
Yeah, I can see that.
But then what if I did like Casino Robert De Niro and I survived?
Yeah.
And then I go on this revenge tear. And then I become like the good guy. Good. I still don't understand how he survived the explosion.
I don't know.
It really does. Like,
because and they obviously like make fun of that in Mafia, like that's, but it's still great. You know who's crazy and I think is like one of the best parts of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is Sky's dad.
Oh, dude,
isn't he supposed to be like Mr. Hyde?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Basically, I mean, it's that kind of character where he's just like and then you can just go crazy and tear people apart. I think he's really cool, and he's the captain from How I Met Your Mother.
Well, yeah, I mean that's Kyle MacLachlan.
But just it's funny.
He's also in Twin Peaks.
No, it's not Twin Peaks.
You need to watch Twin Peaks. You need to get right with the world.
I don't have that frame of
and watch that, because then again, like I said, like you'll realize how stupid Wayward Pines is for one thing, and then also you'll get a million references that you haven't gotten before, and it's also really freaking good. And then he was in Blue Velvet and a bunch of like Lynch.
Never saw that either.
And he's in Showgirls.
Also didn't see that.
He's in Portlandia. He's the mayor of Portland.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe you don't know who Kyle MacLachlan is.
Well, I know him now.
Well, he would have had a very different career. I still feel like if he hadn't done Showgirls, that did not help him at all, because he's amazing. You have to watch Twin Peaks.
All right.
I put that at the top of Brendo list things you must watch. I'd put that ahead of Fargo.
All right. It's on probably Netflix.
It is on Netflix. Watch it.
All right.
Watch it.
All right.
Watch it.
All right.
Watch at least the first season.
What? Don't watch the rest? Well, don't tell me. I'll look at it.
Watch the whole thing, but there is a definite tipping point.
All right.
You'll know it when you watch it. Everybody knows it.
Okay.
Lynch had pressure from the networks where they had to solve the murder. He never wanted to. And then after that, it's all downhill. And then I think he left the show at some point, but then he came back. And it ends like the ending is like a total cliffhanger.
Right, but don't tell me too much.
First season gold.
All right,
it's great.
All right,
you need to watch it. Watch it.
All right,
and the movie.
But the movie comes after.
It's actually a prequel.
But I should watch it after.
Yes.
All right.
Just because otherwise you will have no idea.
Okay.
It's great. Watch it.
I'm watching it.
Then you'll know like why. Then you'll understand why Ray Weiss is in everything. Because everybody loves Twin Peaks, and they're like they want to meet Ray Weiss, and I think that's why he gets put in everything. I think a lot of things are like I just want to hang out with Ray Weiss.
All right.
He's great in almost everything he's in. Also in How I Met Your Mother.
Who's he in How I Met Your Mother?
He is Robin's dad.
Oh, okay.
But he's in everything. Did you ever watch Reaper?
Mm-mm.
Reaper's great.
Have to watch that too.
He plays the devil.
Oh. Well, I will.
Reaper was really
putting that up on my
Kevin
list.
made the pilot. That's another show. Actually, you'd probably enjoy Reaper a lot. It's really good.
All right.
Although I would watch Dead Like Me before you watch Reaper, and you never even watched all that.
I know. Watch part of that.
You watched Wonderfalls though, right?
Watch all Wonderfalls.
How did you watch all of Wonderfalls and not watch Dead Like Me? You want to be like, I want to watch something more like this.
Well, yeah, but I watched some.
It's the closest thing like this. What about Pushing Daisies? Have you not watched all that?
I don't know.
Pushing Daisies is amazing. What's wrong with you?
Only so many hours in the day.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know how you can call yourself a person. And, like, especially if you like Wonderfalls, like, wouldn't you just immediately want to, like, consume everything there is, like, by Brian Fuller because he's amazing and, like, you want that feel? And, like, I mean, I haven't watched Hannibal, but I'm pretty sure it's not like those at all. I mean, I heard it's good. Yeah. I still want to watch it. But those three shows, and they also, because they kind of tie into his, like, show up. Like, there are recurring characters in those three shows.
All right.
Those are the three. Like, you should.
But of all of those, I have to watch Twin Peaks first, I'm told. All right.
Yes. All right. Absolutely. You don't even know who the log lady is.
I don't know anything.
Oh,
don't tell me.
Gosh.
Don't spoil.
Log lady.
No spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Well,
I know the log is. Better than bad, it's good.
Gotta watch. Phil doesn't watch Twin Peaks, you guys. That's the name of this episode.
Plus scat.
Phil hasn't. Plus, when we say scat, people are gonna think poop.
Well, that wouldn't be like unrealistic to think of with our show, and then it'll be like a little twist.
I don't know about that.
All right, you can tell whatever you want.
I'll figure it out.
All right.
So for Radio BrendoMan. Remember when we said this one was going to be real quick?
It is. It's not even 2.5 hours yet.
Yeah, but it's 3 in the morning.
It's not even 3 hours
3
yet.
in the morning, Phil.
Well, we talked for 2 hours before we started recording.
Should we tell him now?
What?
That I had a total Brendo freak out before this episode started?
You can, but it's not. You don't hear it on the recording.
We don't hear about it anywhere.
No.
That's a secret trivia.
That's it. There you go. If you listened all the way through this, you found that out.
There you go.
But you know what? You let the cookies cool.
Yeah.
And then the show worked, right?
That's right. Totally worked.
Let the cookies cool.
At one point, I screamed at Phil to get out of my house.
But then we just let the cookies cool. It was all okay.
So that's the moral of the story.
Let the cookies cool.
And if you can't do that, just scat it away. Skiddly beep bop, down to your doop bop, deedly doo. Doot doot doo. All right. For Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creasy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. We officially lost everybody in the chat. Like, everybody's gone. Like, yeah, there's nobody here.
Well, it is 3 in the morning here.
Like, we even lost Brian. And normally Brian, stays and falls asleep.
Andres left last.
We lost everybody.
That's okay.
Now I want to watch that Monday Nitro and see if I'm on it.
Shit. I gotta stand up. Oh, I gotta stretch.
All right. Whoa. Anything last words for YouTube?
I think YouTube already got
got plenty
tonight. I think you've gotten enough.
Haven't got enough
YouTube.
Let me go to bed.
What more do you want from us?
Leave me alone. All right. Night, YouTube.